All right, this is Randalicious, and welcome to the 64th Hexis podcast. Hope you guys had a good New Year, and hope the holidays were good. Been a little bit since we've been on. A lot of shit's happened. Try to talk about as much as we can. Hopefully, we got everything. Got three new faces on the podcast today, so should be pretty fun. But let's get into it. I'm Randalicious. I'm the leader of Hexis.
I'm
Right, lads.
Trickool. I'm a co-leader in Hexis.
Oh, what?
Stepped up. I'm Zoydberg.
I'm Riftcraft. Banana in Hexis.
I'm Dan S. I was voted best smiley in Hexis.
I'm Paizuri. I am also a smiley in Hexis and also an immoral alt user. Yes.
That's what I like to hear. All right, so for the three of you new guys, let's have you guys go a little bit. Tell the viewers a little bit more about yourself. What do you like to do? What's your RuneScape history? Just give the people what they want.
I would say
So
my favorite skills are rune crafting and Slayer. In May of last year, 2017, and my goals are 200 mil all within the next 3.5 to 4 years.
Right, yeah. I've been playing this game for a while, I'm a bit young, but that's okay. I want to get 200 mil. I'm just a skiller. I specialize in autistic methods. So, yeah.
And I'm just playing the game. I don't have any huge goals or anything, and if I set them, then they're generally gone within a few weeks. So just running around the roofs right now.
hey, Dan, I wanted to say I started farming herbs on my alt the other day, and I actually used your fucking little guide on that. It was very nice.
Thanks, man. That's been I made it a few years ago, and I still get comments and stuff on it, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think like for somebody that was kind of newer to RuneScape, it might almost like it was done so good that it might almost seem like overkill to like real noobs. But
Yeah. Oh, and someone said something like I put more effort into it than it takes to get 99 farming, and that's probably true. So
all right, well let's get into the questions. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Crystal Math Labs. So Crystal Math Labs went up for sale. It really kind of out of nowhere. Um, it was on the CML subreddit. Um, Someone made a post like complaining, I think, a little bit about CML, and then some guy said, "I'll give you $100 for it," and then Foot just say, a more fair price would be starting at like $4,000. And then from there, it actually like started taking off, and interest in it grew. I was interested in it. I had a group of guys trying to get it, but ultimately it ended up winning bid to Hate, and he is now the owner of CML. But let's talk about CML a little bit, though. What would be some of the best changes that Hate could do and that you'd like to see being done? Just one thing that I like that he's already done was remove the no alt EHP. And like he did something with like Iron Man EHP on their profile page. But what more do you want to see done to CML?
I want the FAQ. I don't know. I think there is an FAQ somewhere, but I want it to be something that gives valuable information. So there's a lot of questions which are like, why is X rate Y, which could be answered if you just lay out what the baseline assumptions are for the current rates. Because a lot of questions like, why was RDHP can be explained with, we're assuming some alt time here. Also, I want the E is for estimated in big bold letters at the top.
You want the brain to be changed from efficient to estimated?
Yes.
All right, Rift, what do you want to see?
See the supplies and EHP page updated. Also, this is my opinion, and I think a lot of people would disagree with me, but reasonable rate for Hunter that duration that PKers during the day, especially for Americans, are not good for black chin, so maybe a bit lower, but
Is it
that's
not
about
already lower than the 30-hour rate?
it's 220k right now.
The 30-hour is over 230. I don't know about that.
That's
I don't
Paizuri's,
know
right?
about that either. Yeah.
It's my opinion, but
Dan, what do you think?
Kind of moving away from rates and stuff. Someone suggested having flags for like where the person's from on high score pages. I think that would be really cool to see. And I don't know if it's feasible. I don't know the background of it, but being able to update an entire group's CML would be really nice in terms of just keeping everyone up to date within a clan or a group or whatever.
I'd like to see something done like with the records to where um pretty much it's anything that is over, like, I'm talking like max theoretical rate. So like um for a skill, I think that it should just automatically be hidden and like put onto like a stored XP counter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, or update day counter.
yeah, like I would just like something to kind of clean up the records because a lot of them are kind of fucked right now. With like the rates, I like when Zoe said like explaining stuff, but with some of the rates, I'd also like to see, like short mini little videos, to show people what it is that you're expecting them to do and like how it can be done. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone sees Hunter rate and they see 220k and they're out there fucking grinding their ass off and they never in their life get, 220k in an hour, a video showing like exactly how it is being done to obtain that rate, I think something like that would be pretty good. I mean, most people that are really trying and where EHP is much more relevant for, they already know all that and whatnot, but for newer players, I think that would be something that would be very good for them. And I'd like to see a little bit more customization to your profile page. I'm not exactly sure what it is that I want to see, but something on there. I don't know. Maybe on your profile page, it'll say like, like on the far right side, it'll show like some records that you have set in the past or something like that. I don't know. Like something cool like that I think would be nice.
I agree with Randy's point on like the stored records. I think those are really scuffed. I think people like Lynx, Titan, and Froggen, no offense, but most of their records are stored, and it's just like kind of annoying to know that you can't beat it without cheating.
Kind of want legacy HP.
Oh fuck! How did I forget that?
Bit of a meme, but I want to see that because there's some people have got far more hours than the site says they do.
Who do you think's lost the most hours?
Acid Soul's up there.
Lynx, Titan.
Malt Lickies must have lost thousands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but he was never doing it efficiently, like even when what he was doing, right?
Oh
I did
well.
like Boss Slayer and things like that.
He didn't really do much boss slayer because there weren't many bosses in the game in 2013, 2014. Not like he was pretty much slapped down the cannon. He would just AFK while he slayed and come back, click the cannon, come back a minute later and see what's going on. But no,
Now
yeah,
he just
he
bank
probably
stands
lost a
in
lot.
315.
Any other things you thought guys could think of? He's coming out with like a merch store. Would you guys?
Where did you get that idea from?
I
The joke
wonder.
tweet that he put out.
He was inquiring me about kind of like asking questions about like the Hexis store and kind of wanting to hear, like, do you make much money off it? And I was like, oh, you don't make a goddamn thing from this site. It's just
I will certainly buy a hoodie with a massive bong on it.
that says crystal meth. Shit. I'll buy a CML hat if he wants to give it to me for $1. You know,
What?
like, yeah.
What?
I was gonna say I'll
I'll buy
take
CML if you want to give me for $1.
I was gonna say like take the hat for free, but I started saying I would buy, so. But no, it'll be really interesting to see. I think that it's for me, since I was really interested in trying to get it. I think that it's better that he won it than the group that I was with. I think that it's just gonna be much more smooth
I'm
like that
so
with
glad
him.
that you do not own it, Randy.
Yeah,
So glad.
it was the right choice with him getting it. So
And immediately after buying it, he said he had some tweet that was like, "I understand that my view is the minority, so I won't be imposing it." And it's like that's pretty big of him to say. It's good stuff.
I was worried because he said that like he unironically wanted ringcrafting EHP to be like 200k. I'm like, fund that, dude. I don't want that.
like for me, the way that I look at like you can have your personal view, like as an owner, you can have your personal views for what you believe EHP should be, but then at the same time, you got to make a smart business decision, and that's what it's about. I feel. All right. So kind of going with CML a little bit, the rates were changed up quite a bit. I don't know if there's a log of like what was changed and how they were changed and shit changed around. Fire blinding was a fucking thing for like 2 days. It was a it was a real big mess right at the end with Foot. So what do you think about the rates, the current rates now, and what the rates were like while they were kind of fluctuating? And do you agree with like already being EHP because of the uses of alts and just your overall opinion on shit now?
So for the longest time, the problem with CML and the community as a whole was that there was a schism of opinion between those who thought rates should reflect what's efficient and those that think it should reflect what people are actually doing. I'm glad that we've kind of, even if I don't agree, I think it should be what's actually efficient, but obviously I'm in the minority. I'm very glad that we've at least got it out in the air and say like, all right, these are our baseline assumptions. Let's base our rates off of this. And I think going forward, things can be a lot more clear. Some specific ones like Ardy, I see the justification for it. I know in the good old EHP council, they were talking about how Brutal Black Dragons are actually better than people thought, and maybe you don't have to do Ardy for your money. Things could change up. I think still there's some assumptions that are made where we're assuming a bit of laziness on people, but whatever. If people wanted to reflect how much people have actually played, then sure.
Riftcraft.
Oh, I think that the rates are okay, but like I said, I think Hunter is a little bit unreasonable, especially in American worlds. PKers are just always there, except in the middle of the night on American worlds. And here, I don't think it should be. I don't think spec transfer should be considered because you can make a lot of money with alts during that time and more efficient methods for viables. So those are the two things that I agree with. But yeah, there is a lot of crazy stuff going on, and people personally that quit using CML altogether because they got fed up with it. So
You know if they're gonna start using it again now that it's on a new direction?
probably not.
Okay.
Then just went to show that it was EHP is just unrealistic. Somewhat agree and somewhat don't, but yeah, that's about it.
I think the way EHP is right now is pretty reasonable in terms of if you want to sweat, you can get over EHP. If you can make money in better ways, so if you want to put in the time during gatherers and playing alts during that, then that would free up time for swimming and alt trade RC. Firebond is the only method that seems somewhat reasonable that isn't on there, but it's also a huge pain in the ass. So kind of makes sense that that's not on there. Overall, I'm posting a video by Cephalotaxis that kind of talks about his point of view that CML is a tool used for comparing accounts and like estimating ranks to 200 mil all. And I think that the way rates are right now is pretty effective for that.
I think that the rates are probably in its current state the best that I can remember them being, aside from like 2013 when everything was as it was. But I think EHP is in a very good spot right now, and I like how clear everyone is, and kind of like what Zoid said, like for the most part, people really agree with what everything is right now. CML is finally for the people, by the people.
I agree mostly with what you said, apart from like just RD. Like I really can't wrap my head around it. It's like far too good to believe, but I just can't really believe it.
I think CML should reflect what most people are doing. So I don't really care that like firebinding isn't EHP, but I do think that firebinding is really viable. I think it's really chill. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think alt rune crafting is a lot harder. So that's understandable that that's lowered, but I could see firebinding being EHP. I think not enough people have tried it. It's brain dead, to be honest.
Just hearing you click makes me tired.
What are you doing in game? What are you doing in game right now?
I am. No, I'm free tick fishing and I'm doing RD.
Oh, Jesus Christ. My head hurts. Alright, Dragon Slayer 2 came out in between podcasts. This is the new Grandmaster quest. And some questions for you guys. Did you complete it? If so, what was your favorite part about it? Your least favorite part? Do you think the quest lived up to expectations?
Yeah, so I did it, I don't know, the weekend after it came out, and I didn't use a guide, but I was streaming it, so like people in the chat helped me a little bit. I think it was a really fun quest and all the puzzles were cool. What part did I enjoy least? I think like when I was running over those ships, that seemed to take forever. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, the boss fight was cool too. It's I mean the two big quests they've done. I mean I don't really count the little crab quests because they're just whatever. But Monkey Madness and Dragon Slayer both been brilliant quests. They clearly enjoy making them, and the community clearly enjoys them. So big quests every year or so. Pretty happy with them.
I personally didn't do the quest, but I like the boss and the rune dragons and the wrath rune crafting. That gives a lot of options for people with alts,
More on that to
different
come.
money making methods. So that I personally didn't do it. Although it's a good place to make money for people. So
Alright,
You
I
did it yet,
have
Rand?
no, I haven't. Plan on getting there probably within the next like 2 weeks or so. That's when I'll have the alts ready to go there. Rune drags and addy drags are like an actual assignment, right? Like if you complete it, you will get assigned it. So
Yeah.
I will not be doing that on my main account.
Seriously?
I will not be doing that on my main account. At least until after I finish off 200 mil Slayer. So I'll probably do it like how many? I might do it on 3 of my accounts this year. So I've not really watched someone do it or anything. All I heard is just like how long it takes. Thankfully, it's less than Dragon Slayer 2, or I'm sorry, Monkey Madness 2. And people, general consensus seems to be that people really love it. So, yeah, the big quest, a lot of effort goes into it, and they've done a great job both times that they've done it. Let's see some more of them. Desert Treasure 2, 2019.
I was really excited when they first pitched it, and then like when it actually came around to coming out, I've not watched like a single piece of content related to it.
I watched Zoid do it for a bit. He streamed that, and looked like a fun quest. I got the requirements on my alt, but haven't gotten around to actually doing the quest yet. But Rune Dragon seemed fine. Vorkath seems kind of fun. I like having best in slot gear, so we'll probably do that on the alt at some point.
Yeah, I saw someone else do the quest. It looks pretty fun. I did half of it because I wanted to get that orb thing that damages you, so you can use it for Nightmare Zone. I did the puzzle. That took me like half an hour because I have 10 IQ. But yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay. All right, so the boss to come out with it. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Vokrath. Is that
How
right?
do you
Vorkath. I
Just
went with
put
Vorkath.
all the letters in?
Is that a joke? Is that like when Oak Dice mispronounced NYJ?
NJY.
Do you really mispronounce NYJ?
Yeah, he said,
Holy
sorry if
shit.
I'm saying this wrong. NJY?
Oh my god. Todd Bowles got to be rolling over in his grave.
I don't understand, Randy. Just
No,
Vorkath.
it was a joke. Fuck off. All right.
Alright.
Oh
So
yeah.
it went from being the drop table for it went
pretending.
it went from being under 1 mil an hour upon release to like 2.4, 2.5 mil. I don't know. It's like well over 2 mil now. So what do you think about their decision to drastically buff it and kind of make another Zulra, you know, with the whole instanced 2 mil GP an hour type of thing? Do you think 1 mil an hour was too low? Do you think 2 mil is too high? What do you think about being instanced? Just your whole overview of it.
Didn't it get nerfed after they buffed it the first time?
I think
Yeah.
they made it. Yeah, they
Because it
made
dropped
it
a load
lot
of
more
magic
big deal.
seeds, and magic seeds went down by 40k, and now they're back to 200 again.
You know, why does it seem that like every single boss that they add in, they put magic seeds on it. They fear that too many magic seeds are coming in, and then they fucking nerf the seeds. It's like it's happened numerous times, man. I don't know. I
People
like.
who want the like.
Go ahead.
No, go on. No. No.
Alright, I like that there's untradables, cosmetic ones with that. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think that the money needs to be as high as it is. For me, I feel like the cosmetic shit that you get from it, a pet, um, like that's more than enough. It doesn't need to be Zora
Cosmetic
2.0.
things like best in slot range cape.
Well, yeah, I guess best in slot range cape, cosmetic helm, cosmetic. Yeah, I felt like the money per hour shouldn't have really been that big of a deal. I understand that some people like to say that, like, oh, you know, I don't PVM for the pets. I PVM. Yes, the fuck you do. So too much money being made. Although it does look difficult as a bitch to do, and I can appreciate the 100k that you got to pay when you die. But I don't like that it's instanced.
Personally think it's fine, and since, like you mentioned, the 100k when you die, I think that kind of balances out the money you make, and the people kind of like an on task Zora they can do, since you can do it on, I believe it's Blue Dragon task, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's kind of cool, and people that like to kill Zora, maybe they're bored of it, and it gives them a new option And I think it's fine, and I like that it was introduced as a new boss into the game. I personally probably, since I don't really plan on doing the quest on my main, but
I think the pet looks pretty cool.
The same people who always moan about magic seeds being expensive are the same that moan when new bosses that drop magic seeds are too much money an hour.
Well, hey, if it was 2 mil an hour, dropping fucking like 11 mage seeds an hour, I sure would not have any problems with that.
Everyone's like, make the new boss drop 3 magic seeds at a time. It does. Oh my god, nerf it. That's too overpowered.
Now, I hate the drop table because it is as much as it is, and magic seeds don't exist on it. 1 in 1,000 does not exist.
I think that the two kind of interesting mechanics that came into designing it is that first of all, the drop table is alchables and then crafting supplies. So it seems like a pretty intentional effort to lower crafting GP per XP. And if you look at the prices of those things, that's pretty obvious. The other thing is having a guaranteed threshold on when you get the head. If you don't have it by 50, or maybe it's on 50, it's a guaranteed one. I don't know what happens if you get the drop from the 1 in 50 chance before then.
It's 1 in
But
50
I think
guaranteed at 50.
okay, gotcha. That's a pretty interesting concept. I think if they were to do that retroactively, adding something like that to KQ would make some sense, considering it's needed for the diary. And if you don't have it by 128, maybe it just instantly drops it. But I think that's an interesting precedent they set for being okay with doing stuff like that moving forward.
I agree with Dan saying it's like an interesting thing about the 150 head, but I don't like really agree with it. I think RuneScape's about RNG. Like, I don't think that should be a thing. I think it should be, you've got a 1k KC without getting a 150 drop. Well, you suck. Bad luck.
It's very bizarre because you get the head every 50 kills, and there's only 2 uses for the head, isn't there? You put it in your house?
You can put it in your house.
3 then, yeah.
Wait, you get it every 50 kills? I thought it was just like
No.
the first time.
The first
Pretty
50.
sure it's every 50, isn't it?
No, it's 1 in
No.
50 chance and guaranteed at 50. But after the first 50, after the first one, it's never guaranteed again.
Yeah, and I also think that it doesn't matter if like bosses shit out magic seeds because they're not alchables, so it doesn't really change anything. So who cares? Just make them, drop 100 magic seeds. I don't care.
Yeah, make it 1,000. Alright. Something else that came along with Dragon Slayer 2 is Rune Dragons. Possibly the new kind of go-to for alts. Pretty AFK. And like easily over 1 mil an hour, like 1.3, 1.4 realistically. Not very click intensive either. A little bit more so than Gargs, but really not too much. And I think like me, just from like watching how it's done, I feel like you could probably do 2 or 3 of them at a time while running the roofs. So what do you think about these? They're like buffed Gargs and Wyverns essentially. And will you get an alt the requirements to be able to do this?
I considered getting 200 quest points on my alt for the quest, but it's like a little too much effort. And besides, Brutal Black Dragons are still more GP per hour, so I would still go that way if I was going to do something a little more chill than Zora on my alt. For people that do Wyvern alts or people that don't own a Twisted Bow, I'd say it's a really good option. Altscaping now.
Is that it?
Doing what,
Yeah,
man? I
that-
need to find out.
For what?
You kind of ended mid-sent. I didn't know if it was my turn or not. They seem
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
all.
They're definitely more comparable to Wyverns than Gargoyles. Gargoyles, like, after you do them for a while, it doesn't even feel like playing the game. Whereas Wyverns is cyclical, you have to bank and everything. Rune Dragons hit a lot harder than Wyverns. You're going to die a lot more at Rune Dragons than anywhere else. I fully plan on doing it on at least one alt in the future. My other alt doesn't even have Barrow's Gloves yet, so probably not on that one, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an alt to do it pretty soon. I like the concept. I like how like the requirements to get there are so heavy. Like 200 quest points, mate. Oh, I suck at quests. That's gonna take forever, but it's worth it. So I'm gonna do that on an alt. Gonna make my other alt a Zora alt probably. So I have one Rune Dragon alt and one Zora alt. Get a lot of money during like agility and stuff. So yeah, I think it's right.
Yeah, I made a couple of alts to kill them on, making lots of money, cashing in, do some sick Bible skills. Respect the grind, lads.
I will be having at least 2 Rune Drag alts going, although one of them is my Slayer Luring alt right now. Currently questing up on the Void and on the Rune Drag alt. I think I'm sitting like around 140 quest points or so right now, so I still have quite a bit of work to do. But shit, I really don't even need money either, so I don't really know why I'm doing it other than just to fuck around, really, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll just start buying dumbass shit. With the money, maybe I'll just buy like all the PVM gear and like some third age or some stupid shit like that. I really don't know. It just seems like too good and such little effort. I guess I will have to pay money to max my alt. Those fucking buyables, so I don't know. Can't have enough money. Alright, Wrath Runes was a new rune crafting method that was introduced. These things are around like 1.6, 1.7 mil an hour apparently, and they're like the same intensity as Astral Runes, and they have a very high alch value of 300, which is meant to kind of maintain their price. Alright, they aren't 1.6, whoever's typing, just speak up and don't. But they're at least 300 each for an alch value, so like they'll always be like a 1.2 mil an hour or so. But what are your thoughts on the Wrath rune crafting?
Who deleted my name from this?
Don't know. Go
Same
ahead.
person who's too scared to speak up.
Yeah.
I think the fact
Anonymous
that they've got an
Kiwi.
price is pretty dangerous. Really, that something can consistently be 1.2 mil an hour. And that's really fucking good as well, considering like runes have always been in the shitter, but like now they're in the shitter. Like I think the most expensive rune that you can make at the moment is a lore rune. That's how bad it's gotten. So having them at like a static, well, it'll always be like a few GP below because no one's going to buy an alchable for out price. But do they have any other uses yet apart from the surge spells?
No.
If they ever get any more uses, then like maybe they won't need to have the alch value as the backbone and like actually have some use. It'd be pretty stupid if like the only reason they were made is to be out by bots or something. They're 2 GP profit.
I'm alright with the alch price. I think that it's otherwise, like, I mean, they really don't have much use, and I know that they were trying to introduce this in. I'm okay with it. I do see how it is kind of like artificial feeling, but I really don't have any complaints because otherwise, I mean, these motherfuckers could maybe be like 100k or 100 each and really never have any kind of value ever. So at least they can always be somewhat of a method to do.
Yeah, it's kind of bad that it's an artificial reason rather than like these runes are really good, we want them. It's like these runes are really bad, but we can't really pay under that.
It is what it is,
Like
I
a
guess.
death rune is infinitely more useful than a wrath rune, but it's still like only 60% of the price because of the out value.
As you know, there's I learned within like the last week that there's Ali Morrisane buys fucking runes from people, and like he'll buy bloods and deaths
Oh
from you.
no.
Yeah, you have to do
You
rune
can't make it
Sudoku
method.
though,
Huh?
which you have to do rune Sudoku, but they nerfed it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think bots do that.
Iron Man as well, because he doesn't change. Like, you can sell as many as you want, and it's always the same price. So you could sell them a couple 100K, and you don't have to like hop worlds or something.
So I always see like dodgy like level 3s with random names sitting at that spot. I'm like,
Ali Morrisane's a dodgy guy.
yeah.
Used to sell the dice bags in RS3 back in the day.
That it gives people, maybe people trying to max, another way to make money. But like Zoid said, I add another use for the rune other than just surge spells.
I didn't say that, but
It's some
thank you.
actual value.
It's not even
Well,
gone yet.
but
You
he
better
kind of.
not fucking be confusing me with Zoid.
I think he is.
Hey,
Oh, maybe I am.
I'm not no filthy
We all
Midlander.
sound the same.
they're the same. They are the same
Fuck off.
person.
Do not say that. We live at least 50 miles from each other.
That is the same
You're
thing.
all southerners to me. Fuck off.
Oh, it's awful down here, Trick. It costs £2.50 for tea.
Dude,
Can't
my
relate.
mum paid fucking £5 for 80 Yorkshire tea bags.
Good lord.
What's that?
Made of money, that's what she is. Anyway, back on topic.
We have to.
Brits have taken over.
Yeah, I think that Maxi in the chat makes a good point that the fact that these runes are on the drop table for Vorkath, Adamant, and Rune Dragons pretty negatively affects them. If they could only come in through the game through RC, first of all, that kind of makes sense. And second of all, I think the GP per hour would be solid and maybe not even need this ALK value. I've heard it's a alright method. I'd probably consider it. 95 RC is pretty steep, so the only people who would have access to it really are people who have been playing for a while. And it's not bottable, really, because botting 200 quest points would be pretty risky.
I think it's great, you know. I like the wrath runes because, you know, the other runes, like the death runes and what's called the nature runes, like their prices are so low. Like, I wipe my bum with them prices. They're like 200 GP each. That's mad. So yeah, I think it's nice that there's like an alternative to like astral rune crafting, which is high GP per hour. XP per hour is like 32k or something. So yeah, I think it's great.
I wish I was young like you, Paizuri. You sound so excited.
You're like 6 years older than me.
Giddy.
He's got that teenage energy fire going on.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
can
the
tell.
teenage energy fire.
The fire's still burning bright. Alright, so a devlog came out. Couple things on.
While we're on topic of reference, actually, Randy, this is more of a question to you. Is Mod West's thing on here or not?
I don't
like you
think
could talk-
so. I think
It's
that I
far
may
too
have.
much text for me to read.
I
Oh
think
god, that huge post. Yeah.
just hit Control F and search West. I think that I was way too aggravated that I decided, like, I think you're kind of pissing me off. I actually had that blocked out of my mind. Like, I forgot that it existed.
I couldn't read the text on my phone, so I never read it.
I had it open in a new
What
tab.
this motherfucker! He is a paid
He's an
graphics
artist.
design. His job,
Holy
his
cow.
career is to make shit that is visually pleasing.
Listen to the
Motherfucker,
Randy
I
Randy.
couldn't squint my eyes enough to be able to fucking read that. I didn't
This is
even
the
get
Randy I
two
remember.
sentences in. Holy,
Talking
like,
shit about J-Mods, Randy. Yeah. Not
it
the
would
new
be
Randy.
like,
Cocking up to-
people use the black text and the black background and yellow text constantly for a reason. Because it fucking works.
Tell him, Randy.
Not only, like, it was so much, it was so long, I like shit you not. I really did try to read it like 5, 6, 7 times, somewhere in that ballpark, and I couldn't make it. I just couldn't. Not only was it too long,
Couldn't.
oh, Jesus Christ.
I had to go on my phone and zoom in because I couldn't see it on my computer. And it was like so long. It was really like bad.
It is honestly inexcusable. So okay, there's a oh hey, if you want, you can find a fucking thing and put it on somewhere on the bottom of the podcast.
I'm not doing that.
Well, that's all you might get there. So let's talk about.
Move it along.
Yeah, get on to the devlog that came out. So the devlog.
Yeah, Mudwest, if you're watching it, the general consensus is we didn't like it. I don't know if you quite got that.
I may have liked it.
Randy doesn't like you either.
I may have liked
got
it.
Mad beef.
I may have liked it if there would have been yellow text. It's just a combination of length and color.
I didn't mind some of the ideas. It's just that the presentation was extremely scuffed, to say the least.
Yeah. All right, so I think they may have implemented some of these changes already. So like they proposed a change to the dragon bone necklace. Pretty much they want instead of like losing. Oh, hold up. What the fuck did I even write? They are proposing changing this to a delay of 9 seconds before the bone bearing effect becomes active. You know, like the bones give you prayer points. So sorry, like what do you think about that? And they're also wanting to lower the prayer requirement from 80 to 70 and increase the is that a prayer bonus, a range bonus? What the fuck did I write?
Increasing Dragon Bone necklace from 6 to 12. It does not specify what changing.
Yeah, you know, I must have been really rushing that on the lunch break.
That'd be prayer bonus.
I think that's the number of beads on the necklace.
Prayer bonus? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Increasing the prayer bonus, lowering the rec, and putting it on less damaging. Thoughts?
So I don't know if it's better or worse now, but what I thought was odd was that I haven't seen this be useful anywhere aside from chinning, and it was already worth using for that, so I don't really see why it needed a change whatsoever. Pretty much it.
Is it me?
I think it's our boy Riftcraft.
Alright. I'm still trying to think what to say.
We'll give him a sec to think, though.
No.
I was joking about the second. I'd rather you underline.
Well, I don't know. I don't really see it being very useful anywhere.
Other than chinning, I can't think of anywhere else as well. Like, I don't know. I feel like
you don't need prayer anywhere here, really, in this game, do you?
No.
It's the fact that it's a necklace.
Like, if noobs want to save money on prayer potions while slaying, that.
Yeah, but like you'd have to have a bone crusher, and if you got a bone crusher, you're probably not a noob.
Do you need a bone crusher?
But they probably don't have 70 or 80 prayer either.
Does it bury the bones for you, the necklace, or?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
Because like no one is going to say, I'm going to buy this necklace, pick up every bone and bury it.
Yes,
like,
yes, it's like a bone crusher.
Dude, what the
but
fuck?
on your neck.
Really?
Why bother doing my bone crusher? Why can they just buy it? That's not fair.
What? Alright, if you calm your shit down, you do.
No, I'm too angry, Randy. You rolled me up.
This is ridiculous. Do you know how many requirements I got for the diary?
Alright, by saying like it buries it buries the bones for you, I'm saying like if you have that shit with you, it counts.
Guys, it does not bury the bones. Shut up.
Yeah, it just if you have Bone Crusher with you, then
yeah.
Okay.
No one's killing Veld's overhead praying and burying the bones, so it's useless there.
I mean, who's killing Veld's? It's 2018, boys.
Still like the most killing.
I'll have the Veld's.
Yeah.
Veld's room in the catacombs is the most popular room. Like, I'm pretty sure.
This
It
is
was the
just
most killed monster.
This in Paizuri, man, it's a wide world
honestly.
out there. I've only seen one
I think
corner.
the game is just a desperate attempt to fill something in because it doesn't seem very useful. Like they were just thinking, what other item could we add to this drop table, and came up with this piece of crap.
I don't know. I don't really think it's a piece of crap. Like it's best in slot for chinning, so I'm a fan of that. It doesn't really need to have a whole lot of different uses, so long as like if there's one singular good use,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
The next question's crap, so I'm gonna go make tea.
All right, I actually don't like that question either. But we will talk about the Dragon Hunter crossbow. They had a buff to the crossbow, increasing its accuracy and damage bonus against dragons has been increased from 10% to 30%. This makes it better than the blowpipe against brutal black dragons,
Ooh.
and I'm not sure what else like that applies to as well. I know that it's like best in slot at times on the new boss as well,
I
but
think Jicky
Just-
said that Rigger and Dragon Hunter crossbow is better than Twisted Bow and Eagle Eye at Brutal Blacks.
wow.
I don't know though. It's Jicky.
All right. So what do you think about the buff? And also, do you think the buff is long overdue? And do you think it speaks volumes to how OP the blowpipe is?
Well, it's I think it's kind of bad if it's true that it's now better than the at Brutal Blacks. I think, but
Your mic's cutting in and out. I can't hear a thing.
just skip me for now.
All right.
Okay, I think that it's a decent alternative to Twisted Bow at Brutal Blacks. I haven't seen any real evidence that it's better than Twisted Bow. Seems like a pretty decent buff to the weapon. Blowpipe was already the third best weapon to use at Brutal Blacks on an alt because it costs so much money to use an hour. So you'd get more kills per hour with a blowpipe at Brutal Blacks, but Dragon Hunter crossbow is more net profit. So I think that kind of really solidifies it as it's the number 2 there. It's used at Vorkath, but only like the last hit in between phases is how I understand it. Just like how you use a Twisted Bow or what used to be a Ballista during max kill per hour Zulrah.
I like the buff. But I do think that it's a little bit of a problem that you had to buff something to put it kind of on the same level. Because the blowpipe really is just so overpowered. It's I do like the more items that we have that are, you know, kind of unique like this. You know, obviously the bow is kind of dog shit on anything other than dragons. So I don't know. This is the type of shit that I do like, and I'm fine with the buff. I really didn't see 10% as really being much anyway in the first place. So yeah, I like it. How much do they go up in price? Anybody know? I'll just fucking check it.
24 to 33-ish. I mean, once they first mentioned that they might buff it, it jumped a lot, but they used to be around 24, now they're around...
Yeah, I think they were like 38 at one point or something ridiculous.
God damn.
So does the buff affect wyverns as well?
Yeah, I think.
The buff. Oh, like if you were to range wyverns? Yeah.
Yeah, but who does that?
Oh, okay. So
Ranging wyverns is pretty
I mean, I
shit,
think it's
though.
fine. Every add, the new rune dragons, and then it's fine that they buffed it, and it does say that, or it shows that the blowpipe is make it better than the blowpipe on things like Brutal Blacks, but
I mean, it
with
was
a
already better than the blowpipe at Brutal Blacks.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it
make
was.
more profit with a crossbow, so why not just make it better? Then that's fine.
I think that it was kind of unnecessary, and I also think that like at Brutal Blacks, you're gonna want to use even before the nerf, you would want to use the crossbow because the blowpipe just cost too much, and I think that it was kind of balanced there. I suppose like the blowpipe was actually balanced in some place, which is shocking. Yeah, I think it was all right there. And also, I think that the buff was just kind of like catering to Reddit merchers. Like people on Reddit were just crying, "Oh, Volkov, blah blah blah, Dragon Hunter crossbow."
Yeah,
Like
just-
I know multiple people who have made lots exclamation mark money from this buff. So I think it was just catering to merchants, to be honest, which I guess didn't realize.
It's like an Aram's staff feat.
I feel that way about many things that do get buffed like that, but for this one, I don't know why I feel a little bit different about it. It could very well be the same thing, but I don't know. I kind of get a different vibe from the community about the Dragon Hunter crossbow buff, like compared to like the fucking Aram staff, if I could say.
People are gonna profit off of any buff. So, I mean, saying not to do something because other people are going to make money off of it is pretty ridiculous, I think. Unless it's something really blatant, like maybe Sarah Lights are an example of something that people are really just pushing because they own a couple thousand of them.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it didn't really seem like that was what people were after.
Do you reckon they're gonna nerf them all? Buff them all at any point?
Which one?
The mole or the mall?
The Maul they could easily make a boss where Maul is best in slot, I
It's
think.
like a lot of the raid stuff is actually really good now. Well, it's always been really good.
Twisted boat. I mean, come on, mate.
Every single thing is. The Din's Bulwark took a while to really pick up steam, but
I think it's overpowered the Din's Bulwark, not gonna lie, but that's a
two-handed
question later
Ellie.
on. Yeah, that's a question for later on, so I'm gonna save it till then.
all right. So Quality of Life Month begins next week, and they're going to be spending like a week on PvP, a week on PvM, a week on skilling, and I don't know what they're doing the other week for.
Another week on skilling.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fourth week that is it mini games maybe? Like, why the fuck are they putting as much time into that as I don't know. But all right. So tell everyone a little bit. What are some of the quality of life updates that you would like to see get added in?
Are we talking about actual quality of life updates or the kind of stuff that usually gets snuck in quality of life updates?
Actual quality of life updates. But if you'd like to give us some sneak it in ones, let me. Give it.
Sure. I'd like to remove.
Specify the sneak it in versus the actual.
Zoid's gonna take mine.
I'm gonna steal Dan's, and I would like the Pyramid Plunder timer to be removed or made toggleable or something like that. And while I'm at it, also the Blast Mine interface should be removed or made toggleable or something like
He
that.
said he'd put a toggle on it the week that it came out.
And he still hasn't.
Who?
Tom H.
Hey,
I tweeted
Tom
at him.
H also fucking said that the farm clock was going to be out end of December.
That is not quality of life. That's ruining a skill.
Aside from that, I hope they sneak in some more cosmetics because I'd like to see an equipable peg leg in the game.
Me too.
Pretty much all I have to add to this game. Pretty great apart from that.
I want Prospector Top to be Varrock Plate Body.
Yeah.
I'll do 200 more mining then. I don't want it to be worded exactly the same way.
Any other ones that you want?
Oh, I'll probably just blurt them out in the middle of the podcast, but I can't think of any on the spot.
All right. One thing that I really want to see, and I think will come, is if you're doing like baby blacks or cow fights, smokes. When you finish your task and they're attacking you in the chat box, screaming at you, popping up saying, "Hey, don't attack my stuff! Don't attack, mother, dude!" I failed to pick up my can. Yeah, doing Calfa. Ooh, dude, I had that face pop up 11 times. It took me 11 attempts to pick up my fucking cannon, like last week. I couldn't believe it. And then when I tried to teleport out with the Karamja gloves, it like stopped that too. It's like, holy shit. So
What did you say to try and stop you?
They really need to cut that shit out. Couple other smaller things. Bank deposit box at Motherlode Mine. I want to be able to do it with a pin without having to enter it in every time I want to deposit an inventory of, coal or whatever it is. The pyramid plunder thing, remove the hourglass and make it kind of like an official timer. I don't want people being able to drop pie dishes at the start of the arty course. Don't know how. Don't let it happen. And I think that might kind of be it. I don't really have that many that I have in mind otherwise.
Well, a couple things for me. With the thing that you said about Slayer, when you end a Slayer task, I agree with that. That's actually one of the things I was going to bring up. I hate that pick up your cannon and teleport away without like running away from the monsters. That's the only way and or retaliate off. But they should make it so you could easily and pick up your cannon with your auto retaliate on. And the other thing, I mentioned the arty course, it brought something to mind. I think that it would be cool to have like a click through option on NPCs that are pickpocketable. If you're doing arty course, you can accidentally pickpocket the knight.
Yeah, that would be nice. Just no option at all.
If you could, if you could just click through it.
Make pickpocket right click, dude.
They don't even have pockets in the armor, so it shouldn't be pickpocketable at all.
Dude, yeah. How are you stealing from those boys?
Just
they
remove them.
They got like a fly in the legs.
And how much GP do they have in their pockets? I mean, people are thieving them all day and they just don't run out of GP. What's going on there?
Yeah, and what's Jaminua doing with all those rune items?
She was
I beg your pardon.
She still has them, right?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't go anywhere.
All that armor?
They should retire the Kramja shop and make it just like sell rune like the guy in the Champions Guild does.
That'd be a pretty great troll.
Rune, two-hander, skirt, leg, black body, blue body, green body, addy plate, fire, earth, air, battle staff, mystic staffs, D-med, D-legs, D-plate.
Keep going. Keep going.
For some of the boys, you got the gold ammies, the fucking U-logs, the maple Armstrongs.
The pure essence.
Ugh.
Make Jaminua pickpocketable.
Alright.
Those are the only two things that I'd like to see in quality of life.
I think that removing... I think it's fine that my character says ow while doing Pyramid Plunder, because he's obviously in a lot of pain. But maybe if it doesn't show up in the public chat, I'd be alright with that.
I hate when that happens.
That is a good one.
I think that swimming as a whole kind of lacks, I don't know, something interesting about it. So I think a stuffed puffer fish from it that you could put in your house would be kind of nice. Not really quality of life, but just a neat little cosmetic to, I don't know, spice up your swimming.
I think on the topic of stuff appearing in public chat, I mean, I'll be NG, you know, I'll have my public off because it's cancer, and then I'll just be looking at my chat, and you know, there's a player mod in my chat. Be dating. What are you doing? I don't want a player mod to like override my public chat being off. I don't want to see
Stop, Paizuri.
what he and she are saying. But yeah, and also I'm kind of scared for what the skinning quality of life is going to be. Like people on Twitter were suggesting, you know, remove the snake at 2-tick woodcutting. I think that is the definition of a quality of life update, which JGEX seem to not really understand. They seem to think like, yeah, JGEX, I said it, dude. All right. Yeah, JGEX, they don't understand what quality of life is. They're like, oh, this is quality of life, but it's actually just a buff, like a straight up buff. I don't like when they do that. I think the removing the snake or changing its pathing is the definition of a quality of life update, but I know it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to see it in game, to be honest. Oh, and I also disagree with like, you said a quality of life update should be you can't drop stuff at the start of the course. I disagree with that.
Ragging is an integral part of this game.
Yeah, I haven't seen a cannon on my roofs for a while, but
You know what to do, lads.
still every now and like every week, at least once a week, without fail, pie dishes at the start of the court. Like, why are the pie like? I've sat here before at times trying to think like, why is it after that last obstacle that they decide to drop it before the start of the course? Because I feel like it would be much easier to drop the pie dish after you climb up onto the roof, not before at the start. There's a lot less time to be able to drop that pie dish there. It baffles me.
I don't understand why people drop it at like the start of the course, like where the obstacle is as well. I mean, you'd think they're losing ticks, but whatever. And I think that like,
I mean,
you should.
It makes sense that they drop it there because that's where they're going to eat, because they don't realize that they're out of, like they're below the level until they're trying to start the course, right?
That's just low tier. I mean,
Oh, they should drop it after they climb the obstacle on the way to
Artie's
the next
the easiest content in the game. Does it really need quality of life?
Yes.
Agreed.
What?
Get these pie dishes out of here. Or at least, hey man, how
it's easy.
You know what? Let these pie dishes be like on a fucking paper plate or something, or an edible plate. Just scarf down these scarf down these fuckers the way you do a glass vial. I just finished a prayer pot. Where did the vial go? Do the same thing with the tin.
Can we get like a vegan option?
Smash a pie tin because it's a tin. You could like mangle it a bit.
If you throw it down,
Kipling.
if you smash it hard enough, you could smash it to bits.
You actually couldn't.
No,
you could.
They're fired. They're clay fired.
Who cares? It's a fantasy game.
Yeah, it's a fantasy game. I can do it. If I think that it can get smashed, it can get smashed.
You can't pick and choose when you want logic to apply. You have to be either.
This is what the bludgeon debacle was about.
I can eat an entire shark in one bite.
I need to be immersed in this game.
Yeah.
How do you chew the sea turtle?
Absolute unit, Randy.
I don't like that bludgeon update.
You're not chewing through the fucking shell of a cooked sea turtle in one bite.
You're making the shell soft.
No, that does not get soft.
Have you ever eaten turtle?
How are you eating a whole shell?
I have never eaten a sea turtle's shell before, but.
Well, I don't think you qualified to talk about this, Randy.
Well, all right. I think I am. I'm a smart guy. I know that they wear that shit to protect themselves. It ain't because it's a nice little fuck.
They don't wear the shell.
Come on, man. Let me finish the. I wanted to keep going with that one, and then you had to ruin it. I was gonna have some fun with that one.
Do not bring this non sequitur into this fallacious argument, Randy.
All right, let's move on to mobile. So it was announced that Old School Mobile will be coming out, and it will be available on Tuesday.
Please.
Invites will be sent out to 2,000 people. This is some exciting ass news. Also, they posted information for like how much data and battery it would use. They said it would use like, I don't know, for whatever fucking reason, and I still can't figure it out. They didn't post the battery usage for an iPhone, most popular phone in the fucking world, and they didn't post it for that, but they posted like for the Razer phone and like an Android, I think, but like 8 to 12% of your battery will be used per hour, and the data usage, what was it, like 10 megabytes?
5.
5 per hour, which
Once it's been cached, yes.
that seems
That's sick.
ridiculously low, dude. Like, you could definitely
Really?
get.
No. This game was designed for like dial-up internet. Of
Yeah.
course,
I can see why
This game-
it's like that.
Hey, man, I'm on the Twitter machine flying through like fucking so many. I don't even know if it was worth me getting this unlimited data now because it's using such a small amount.
Yeah, before they announced it was like 103 megabytes, I was like, I just shouted, "Are you mad in real life? Like 103 megabytes per hour? I've got 3 gigabytes per month. I'd only be able to play 30 hours."
my GIFGAF guys gave me 2 extra gigabytes. I don't know what to do with it. I've got too many gigabytes to go around.
Share the love.
You want some?
Yeah, why not?
All right, Riff, what do you think about mobile?
Well, I probably will only use it about hours a week, but
How many hours?
when I go out, like 4 or 5 hours a week. But when I go out, I know that I won't be running out, so I'm glad about that. And also, I'm kind of limited on internet data, so I'm glad that it won't be using much.
I don't
I think it's a
anticipate.
good addition to the game, and it should bring in a lot of new players. So hopefully that'll be a good thing.
I don't think I'm going to be using it too much. I do phone zone while at work, but I'm not at the point like while I'm working I can't do other stuff. And outside of that, I generally would have a laptop on me, so not a big deal. But it's pretty cool. It's going to be neat to see what impact it has on the community and if it really does blow up or not.
Yeah, I really hope it does blow up. Like, I hope the game does get more players, but at the same time, I don't, because then all the worlds will be really laggy. Like, I'm forced to play on the PvP world sometimes because the ping is so bad, like on weekends. Like right now, don't come and kill me. But yeah, like when there's 800 players in the world, I just can't stand it. I mean, I know it's playable, but it's just really annoying for me. So I hope it doesn't. I hope it blows up, but I hope JGX get like more worlds. And I will probably not be using it because at school I phone zone and I don't have much free time at school to hop on, chop some redwoods. Yeah, so I'll probably just be phone zoning on my tablet at home.
I'm very excited for it. I hope that I'll be blessed to be one of the 2,000 that do end up getting invited. If I will, I'll be happy as hell. About to be playing that during all my breaks at work. Probably on my way to and from work. When I'm in bed, like laying down in bed. It's going to be a big year for agility and woodcutting without even knowing that I'm doing it. Very excited. Trickle.
I think he went for a big piss, he
He's
said.
got his mic muted.
Oh. Alright, well, fuck them then. Alright, so they made improvements to Fossil Island. Let's talk about the improvements a little bit. The first one is drift net fishing. And so drift net fishing, apparently it's about like 75k fishing and 99k hunter XP per hour. This is a massive buff from like the 31k fishing and 41k hunter that they used to be able to get before. And it's very interesting. It does cost money though. I think the GP to XP is down to like 4 or 5 or so, something like that. But what do you think about the buff drift net fishing? Does that seem like something you'd ever consider doing?
Where's
First,
Pie Lad? Pie Lad. Brick.
I will.
Oh, what?
It's you, bud.
You'd better stop
Oh,
paying attention,
yeah.
Paizuri, my man.
Listen, I'm free tick fishing, you know.
Yeah.
Right, whatever. Listen, all right. So the fishing thing, yeah, I think it's kind of balanced because you lose like potential money you get from hunter, and the hunter XP you get is more than fishing. So if you're going to do that to 200 mil, you're going to lose all the money you get from black chins. So and it's like 1-to-1 EHP as well if you're doing black chins semi decent. So I think it's all right. I don't think it's like something to worry about. And I saw the content. It looks pretty brain dead. I mean, just spam click. I mean, what's going on there? That's a bit dodgy. But yeah, I think it's all right.
This is probably the first time that I've been upset and regretted having done Hunter. Like I don't think I could redo 200 mil Hunter over again doing chins. And this would have been great because I would have been able to do so much fucking like fishing with it instead of like my ass isn't gonna get 75k fishing an hour when I do end up fishing. And it would let you it would let you still get to finish off all your agility as well. So I'm pretty pissed. I would like to have been able to have done this content at 200 mil hunter, and then just obviously make all the like the 2 biller, however much it is that you miss out on, just use that shit. Get that during like agility or something instead. It's good. I like it.
know that it was buffed that much. I couldn't really see myself doing this because I'm relying on I'm gonna be doing red chins probably for Hunter. Or I'll pay for fletching because I'll do Hunter together. I'm probably gonna stick with doing that and 3-tick barb. So I don't know. For me personally, I probably won't be doing it, and it's fine if people have enough money they don't need to worry about their money. Then they're good, and people that can't 3-tick fish as well.
Yeah, I'm really mad. I missed out on this content. Very upset.
This time, what, 4 years ago, if you're getting 75k fishing, that was pretty good. But now you get 100k hunter on top of it.
Well, now is the future, old man. I mean, it was
Listen here, kid.
The future is now.
I've seen you call him a beta male too, mate. You never even seen the 20th century. You need to pipe down, Paizuri.
Oh, come on, mate. I was almost there. I was almost in the 20th century, but of course not.
All right. Talk about one of the other or I guess it's a buff. I don't know. But the thing that I am most happy about is Fossil Island Wyverns now being a thing of the past. Shout out to Lottie. She shared with me. I ended up losing 5,000 fucking Slayer points because of these Fossil Island Wyverns. Yeah. How many points do you think you lost if you did slay? And what do you think about so like it's like a separate block essentially. Like you pay 500 points and it's a permanent unlock that you can like turn on and off whenever you please. Even though it was polled at 80. So, what do you think about Fossil Island Wyverns being toggleable and your opinion?
Didn't lose any points, I didn't do the quest. But like Cave Horrors, I unlocked those from doing a quest. They cost me some points. Can they get a block? Same with Zygamites. Can they get a block?
Yeah,
they were already in the game. They weren't added on.
But if they were added on to the fucking fairy quests.
That was already part of the game.
Block every task for 500 points.
Yes.
I'm waiting until probably about next year. Doridel's going to ask you what task you'd like.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
And you get to pick how many you want the year after.
I think that it should. I think it's a good thing. I'm shocked that it was 500 points to block them. Like, come on, mates. I don't have that many points. Come on. 500. That's a bit dodgy. But yeah, I think it's good that they added a block anyway, because I kind of think you should be able to do like the tasks you want to do. Like, I mean, you go into a fossil island task. I mean, ask yourself, is this really fun? Killing, fossil island wyverns for 100 kgp per hour? That's not fun, is it? I'll rather end my life than do that.
No one's making you kill them. You can skip
That's
them.
why the skip task feature exists, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you lose all your points.
Well.
And then you have to do them
just get
eventually.
Welcome to the skill of Slayer.
Everybody loves it for some reason.
But they all want it changed severely.
Yeah.
So it's more fun this way, dude.
I mean, there's no point in it being a skill if we just can do the same 5 tasks. I'm very upset they actually bowed down to you plebs.
Yep.
Bow down. It never should have been a fucking thing in the first place.
No, what they did was just following the existing precedent in the game, that when you complete a quest, you unlock any Slayer tasks that it unlocks. It seems to me like it was just straight up like they got bullied into doing it, which I wish they had a little bit more backbone when it comes to that.
Yeah, they got bullied into doing it because people find this more fun than being.
You've already got the lowest task list we've ever had because of the milestones point stuff.
Now you knock another one off.
Yeah,
it just didn't need doing.
You didn't have to do Fossil Island Wyverns. You just had to pick up trolls or whatever the next best task is.
They're pretty dumb for not just making this doable with regular wyverns. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I think I lost quite a few points. I was around 18 mil Slayer whenever the quest came out, and I did it on release like a dumbass, and quite a few points between like 18 to 27 mil Slayer, and then another 500 points having to block it. So it was an overall pain in the ass, and it should have never been a thing in the first place, because they should have just made it with regular wyverns. So that's what I think overall about it.
Yeah, I think it would have just been better had, instead of making it a toggleable unlock, just group it together as part of the wyverns.
Glad you agree. I might
that
say
would at
again
least
when it
make
was my
more
turn.
sense than breaking the precedent. Like,
Yeah,
if you had to.
Yes.
Yes, I think we can all be friends and agree that should have been the solution.
No, I don't want to be friends.
Shut up, Zoe. Shut up.
Not
I'm
presume
trying. Come on, we're from the same country. Can't we be friends?
You are from London. I'm your
Yeah,
enemy.
you're in London right now, aren't you?
I'm not in London.
Okay,
I'm in
well, you
Buckinghamshire.
were. Okay, so yeah, listen, just.
I'll not be accused of things by you.
Sorry.
About the volcanic mine getting nerfed from
Wow.
being over 100k an hour, being nerfed to being, with the usage of alts, you're able to get between about 85 to 90k an hour now, which is still higher than what was proposed. What do you think about them nerfing it, and what do you think about the current rate of it? Trickool?
It's a bit of a problem child. Didn't they buff it and then nerf it again?
I don't think they buffed it. Actually,
Yeah, they did buff it.
yeah.
I think.
Yep.
At the very start.
They buffed it,
Well,
and
early on there was
and now they've nerfed it, and it's just a problem child. I don't bet you any money, even after this nerf, a screenshot's going to surface of some guy getting like fucking more than he was getting last time. And
Well, he's gonna do a bit of free tick 4G and then run over to the volcanic mine place and take a screenshot.
you could do an hour. Well, you could do like 59 minutes to S2G, and can you store XP there, or is it when you leave the mine?
I think
It's not stored XP.
Oh, well, when you leave the mine, you get the XP or something.
All right, then you can go and do 59 minutes of of that, go and collect a full sack at Blast Mine and get like a 300k hour and just go and stand outside. And then see if
I
you
mean-
can collect again.
Yeah, Parker did like an hour of 4G and then ran or teleported in and took a screenshot and got a
Yeah.
few people flustered.
That's
But
extremely high.
Holy
IQ.
shit! I almost fell off the back of my chair
It should've-
leaning back.
Falling asleep, Randy.
I think it should have been a lot sooner, but 85 to 90k is fair, considering some people can't do like retake granite, but to do this, they should add something to fishing that more
Drift net
retake
fishing.
farm. Well, I guess yeah, that's true.
uh,
Oh,
I don't know. I think that it's balanced now. I think it took them a little while, but eventually they were convinced that alts are the problem. So they've made it so that there's less incentive to use alts there. Although I think still one of the better methods there is you and one alt, which would be somewhat click intensive. But I think that's what Parker has been doing recently for around 88k an hour, which is still over, but not to the point where I'm bothered by it. I still think it's too AFK.
I heard
Right.
that doing kind of like that you and your alt method is like half the time is click intensive, half the time is AFK. Is that? Would you say that's correct?
yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
watched.
think so.
Like 80 seconds of
watched a few
AFK at a
runs.
time.
Yeah, to the point where I think that Blast Mine is more click intensive, and according to the graphic they showed at one point, it was definitely supposed to be more click intensive than Blast Mine.
Hmm.
I think
Hardy's more click
it's
intensive than
a
Blast.
problem that it was such high XP rate because they said in like the dev blog that it was going to be 82k. I mean, come on, what's this? People getting 110k? That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? So I think they like JX don't really know their own content, and they should state that. Oh, by the way, you can use an alt and get more XP per hour in the dev blog. Like it shouldn't be. Oh, find this out yourself.
I think with stuff like that, they've kind of been careful with how they've been wording it over the last couple of years. That it's transitioned into, this is what an average player should expect to get doing this.
High intensity Zerring crafting. High intensity, by the way.
I don't know.
You're
With
around 12
that,
when that came out, mate. What are you about?
with the volcanic mine, I'm okay with it being as it is right now, even though it is over what the pulled rate was, doing it on 2 accounts, even though it's half AFK, half click intensive. I mean, 85 to 90k an hour, that's okay, given that like you could still get like 120 to 130k at the granite spot. So I don't know. I'm okay with it. But yeah, before with it being over 100k, that is definitely a problem.
I agree with Levine in the chat.
Who messed up the order for this question? Because I'm confused.
Oh, it's been scuffed.
Dear me. I think we should move on. I think we've said all that's to be said.
Yeah, the conclusion is remove volcanic mine at JGX/JGXKaren at JGXWolf.
Why do you think the team is more okay with
Not
methods
cool.
being well above well above proposed XP right now, as opposed to like 2 years ago? Like a good example would be like Soul's rune crafting. Why do you think the team is a little bit more open and okay with it now than before? Because yeah, they did nerf volcanic mine, but they still know that it's 10% better than what was proposed. Thoughts?
No, they're just unorganized, aren't they? They need someone that can actually test their content properly. Instead of like letting free tick volcanic mine being a thing, that was a ride.
Did they get people in to test to test Fossil Island stuff?
I think they did for Dragon Slayer 2. I'm not sure about Fossil Island.
Fossil Island.
And even still, with Dragon Slayer 2, there were unintended consequences, like that Warcraft running back and forth thing. They had to nerf that for some reason. I don't know why they nerfed it. I thought it was balanced.
The moonwalking stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It's just like 2-tick woodcutting, isn't it?
It's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still there, but I think
They've nerfed its
the damage,
efficacy.
which I think is extremely scuffed, and they should have just let it be. They shouldn't cater towards players who are lazy and can't do it. It's more fun if you can actually do it, and you get the full reward from it. It's more fun.
I think they're trying to be more open with and try to be more truthful. Although I don't know. Maybe Jagex does. They are not aware of that. For example, that maybe they just weren't aware you could use an alt and
they weren't aware,
line
but
would
they
be
should have
unlocked.
been aware. It's their content.
Exactly. Maybe they should have somebody try out like a skiller, a good skiller, a person that's done 200 mil in the skill that they're trying to buff and out, and instead of just test it out because maybe they don't know the game mechanics as well or haven't played the game as much as.
They were discussing having like a beta server, I think, ages ago on one of the Q&As. I think that was interesting. It's kind of like however, I don't really like how they like leak so much stuff before the stuff is released. I think they should make it so the quest is released, everything's a surprise. You go in, you have fun, right?
Yeah, who remembers those good days? Wake up and see a new, where you have no idea what the fuck's going on in the game until it hits.
Yeah.
Like
You
wake
like
up
Rev
and
Caves?
holy shit. I mean, on a more regular basis, but you wake up and then boom, fucking Hunter's a skill.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I remember when engineering came out, because I'm not that old. Yeah, that was Poggies. That was Poggies.
Yeah.
You kids in your lingo.
Alright, so let's talk about the new Reddit that has sprung about it. Reddit Old School RS.
Hey. Oh, never mind.
Deleted it because all but one person deleted their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to Riftcraft soloing it.
No.
So what do you guys think about the new Old School Reddit and its philosophy of being the exact opposite? I'm getting fucking crashed at Sukla's right now.
Good.
The guy got a Saradomin sword?
No, he's in full Guthix D'hide and a blowpipe.
With some guy with a Sarah sword.
Rich boy.
Just here for some Joe Slayer. What's your problem, man?
Sorry.
Along with a bit of Partner Slayer.
What do you
Yeah, it's
think?
good
What
fun.
do you think about the
but
new
it has to
Reddit?
be
I think the new subreddit is a solid concept. I think people will be participating in it. I've made a few posts over there. I revived the Herb Run guide to place on that subreddit. Mad Dan might have his hands full with CML now, but I'm sure
Yeah,
he'll
very true.
outsource moderation if needed. I don't like the default CSS theme though. I think it's pretty ugly.
Funny how Dan owns everything now.
Yeah.
Changed.
He has quickly gained out of nowhere. He had Trickool. What is it?
Game of Thrones quote, isn't it?
Yeah, let me hear it.
No.
He's forgotten it. Well, that's low to it.
No, he's a man with no lands, no titles, no wealth, and he's acquired all three in a rather short period of time.
Yeah, he owns Reddit.
He owns the Reddit. How long before he fucking owns like Hexis or something? I mean, like we're fucking next.
Well, Conduit is next on the list.
Yeah. Let's get Conduit. I don't know. I do find it very interesting that now he does own quite a bit of shit all out of nowhere. So he's really kind of gotten his way into a very powerful situation. I'm really The new Reddit though is really great. I check it out on my breaks, on the toilet. It's very good to see actual discussion going on. There is a good balance of, people like us and, people who are like it. They are very newbie. So, having a good balance like that, I think is pretty good. I usually do downvote any newbie post I see though, like without hesitation. But there's some good discussion that goes on in there. I like it. And fuck 2007 Scape. I made a Reddit account just for this. Ain't actually been on Reddit in like 3 years prior.
I'm bookmarked 2007 Scape Reddit like a few months ago, and I felt really healthy for doing so. So like when they said that there was another subreddit coming out, like it would be kind of cool to have some other discussion. But when I went on there first time, there are a lot of threads about just some very sort of big things. Like they force very sort of strict agendas, very some very big questions. I've not really been on it since. I'm not too interested in like any of the social media platforms anymore. I don't really look at Twitter too often either nowadays.
My favorite part of the Reddit is that like the J mods are actually paying attention to it. Like
Yes.
Archie comes there every week and he asks for questions, and I'll be watching the Q&A and I'll be scrolling down the old school Reddit and all the questions are from there, and that makes me happy. I think it's good that someone's made an alternative to 2000 Escape, because it's just full of like haha PK, haha spade, like but come on, it's not funny after the 500th time. So I'm glad someone made a place for actual discussion. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And gonna be as good as we want it to be. Just gotta keep being active and keep having good discussions going on in there. So if someone could link this in the chat as I say it. So Mod Ed stated that they failed massively with Wilderness Rejuvenation 2. That's kind of like why they're redesigning the whole graphics for it, why they're replacing the rev drop tables. I don't know. So my question for you guys is, oh, all right, actually, never mind. You know what? When I made this fucking question, it was a while back. The question was, if that's the case, why haven't they made any changes to it since release? But I guess my question should be, do you think that it's a problem that they released content so fucking early, like how they did with that? Because here we are, 6 weeks later, and we've been playing this content for 6 weeks, and it's still not even fully developed.
Yeah, you know what it shows me is they're just trying to make updates to make updates, and they don't really put a lot of time and effort into it or care too much about how it turns out. That's what it seems like to me.
They still haven't fixed Wilderness Rejuvenation 1. Still see people cheating, killing Callisto, so yeah, I'd rather they get ahead and fix both of those, really.
All right, Zoid, I have a question for you. How would you like to see the wilderness bosses changed to be balanced then?
Just not being able to save spot them would be
And that's
great.
like, yeah, being able to save spot a boss is the most stupid thing. I mean, you're just sitting there in the back. Like,
Yeah, especially when people complain that PKers attack them at the safe spot for a wilderness boss. Like, do you just want to
it's so
AFK
stupid.
everything completely? It just seems ridiculous. Especially if they're streaming their location to a bunch of people. Just seems.
Well, I think you're referring to.
Maybe they bought Karam ones too. I don't know.
I mean, it was very good of Ed to admit something that, like, I doubt any of them would. Like, the other mods are like far too proud to sort of say that they failed. So it's a lot better that he's, addressing the problem rather than just, what a normal mod like the other mods are going to do, which is just sort of, slip this on at the end, like, oh yeah, this content's been out for 6 weeks, but here's a little bit more of it. He just outright said, like, it sucked, so we're going to try do it again. And the thing about them trying and doing it again is that it's been in the game for 6 weeks, so that's like 6 weeks of feedback that they can work with as well. So, they hyped this up to be. Well, actually, what did we have at RuneFest? We had Dragon Slayer 2, which was like really, really hyped up.
Rev Caves,
Like
Mage Arena 2.
Yeah, and like
the
the two
farming
wilderness
thing.
ones. The two wilderness ones shot out at the start of the year. No one even knew they were coming, and like no one does them. Like you go and get the cape, but that's it. You're not going to go back and do anything else with it, are you?
No.
You're not going to get all 3 for the Totus points.
That's for losers.
Agreed.
I think it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong, shit. Even if he's speaking for the team,
I want the whole team to start a stream by apologizing.
All
I
like the fucking BP oil company when they dumped their.
Sorry.
We're sorry.
They didn't
We're
kill a bunch of otters
sorry.
Sorry.
or seals.
I think it was really good that he came out and said that. Yeah, I still kind of want to almost say that Wintertide is unforgivable, but since Ed came back, he had his internship and then he left and then he's back. Since he came back, I've actually really liked what he's done. And I just want to also give a good shout out to his speech that he gave at RuneFest. Man.
Yeah, that was sick.
Well, that shit was epic. God bless Ed.
I thought he was the kind of like quiet, timid, soulless guy, but
What?
Soulless.
he's actually alright.
He's actually alright.
And I like how he came out and admitted, like, guys, we messed up. I like that because before they were skirting around, like, look how many people went into the wilderness because of this. Like, you're stupid, mate. But I like how Ed actually came out, like, yeah, it sucked. And I like how they haven't done anything for a while. I like that because it kind of shows that they're not rushing to, like, fix it. They're actually putting work in. They're putting work in to, like, make it right. Before they were like, Rev Caves, yeah, and then next day it was out. Pretty much, so I think it's great.
All right. Several posts were posted across Reddit about how bad account security is in general, which is something that we all are probably pretty well aware about. But what is your opinion about account security and how Jagex handles it?
Yeah, I've just been reading through the post now. I mean, it's strange because I remember account security was a big deal in the high-level community in general, maybe like a year or so ago, just over, and then we just kind of never heard about it for a while. I feel like we've repeatedly been made promises. I remember when Sween was still part of the support staff. I'm pretty sure I remember him saying something about how they were planning some big post about how they might address account security issues.
I remember that.
I don't know if they ever did make the post. Like,
I think they did.
I'm surprised still that nothing's changed really. Like, having said that, I haven't heard any. As I said, I haven't heard anything about it in the past year. So I thought maybe they did something behind the scenes and it was becoming less of a problem, but apparently not. I don't know. They've always been not good enough with account security, and I do hope they step it up a bit.
Yeah, with I really do fear for a lot of like casual players or people who aren't up to date every single day with what's going on for like when mobile comes out. I mean, imagine how many people, because like there's gonna be 2,000 of us that get access to it in 48 hours. There's gonna be a lot of like phishing or some hacking going on, like with people thinking they're getting the beta for mobile and then just getting their shit hacked like that. I know that's only part of the problem, but man, in general, I have been seeing quite a bit of rise in people complaining about account security. And
somebody needs to do something about name change scams quick.
Yeah.
Jicklin.
And Rig.
And Rig. That's
Classic.
amazing.
There's a confirmation screen on trades, you know.
I'm well in favor of them being punished for being silly boys.
Yeah.
The game,
I
the
think
game,
that-
the game is ever changing. The account security is not. I would like to know, just for my own personal interest, when the last time actual steps to improve account security was made by the company.
I don't see a
Definitely had
problem with the delay on the authenticator. That's been the suggestion to fix it for a long time.
Agree.
The argument against it being that it's inconvenient if you do have to disable the authenticator, but I don't know how I feel about that. Overall, just throwing us a bone every once in a while, saying like we tried to help and this is how or whatever. I don't know. Like that'd be nice just to know that they care. It just seems like they kind of brush off player concerns most of the time.
I had an account, an alt that was hacked from me recently, and just by the way they did it, went to show me that that Jagex time into
Was it your account originally, Riftcraft?
No comment.
Yeah. When the original guy recovers the account, it's not really a concern. He's supposed to be able to do that.
Maybe he's just DC'd. I don't know.
Oh, maybe he DC'd.
At that specific time.
This is a thinking emoji in the chat time.
well, I was using a long-time friend's account.
Oh yeah, there
Yeah.
Were you?
we go. There we go.
He recovered it from me, but I was in the middle of playing on it, and it disconnected me from the game.
I mean that's your fault. Like that's nothing to do with account security. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're playing on someone else's account, you should like know that that's a risk.
I recommend you don't play on the account again and make your own.
I don't. I don't have access to it, and I do
Yeah,
have
not
my own
anymore.
alt.
Anyone
What
else
about
got
you,
anything?
Trickool?
Oh
Question,
yeah.
Liam?
Account security, my man. How do you think it is?
I think it's alright. But I'm like really scared because imagine I've got all my money for Bibles, yes, thousands of hours of work of playing my old slaving away, and then I get hacked and it's all gone. And then like what am I gonna do? Hand me the bleach, what's going on? If I got hacked, that would be very upsetting. I think Froggen said that his alt got hacked for 1.5 bill. I don't know if his IQ was just 50 or that was like an actual like thing. I've heard people with their authenticator, all the security stuff getting hacked. It sounds a bit dodgy. And
Most of the time, it's poor management of your information. But
yeah,
it's still
because when I was even younger than I am now, I used to always get hacked because I was like, oh, bank pin, that's annoying. Authenticator, that's So that was pretty 25 IQ.
How many bank spaces you lads got? Shout out right now.
All of them.
800. Yeah.
Hey, that's really, really bad, that is.
I know.
Yeah, Abro talked about that for a while, that he felt like he needed to now because it shows how many spaces you have.
Yeah, like
so
if you're streaming
if
and
someone
it says
sees your
800
bank,
out of 800, like, you're fucked.
yeah, they know that you don't have pen or off.
Plus, 816 looks terrible.
Oh yeah, I remember in Abra's stream, he had 808 bank spaces. Someone called him out. He was really angry.
Yeah, he tweeted a bunch about how annoying it is to have
It's
a bank
a good
pin.
point, though.
It is. It shouldn't be though. It's a real It's one of those things where they're like trying to help and they just really fuck things up.
Bank pin should be like authenticator, where if you enter it on the same computer, it should be there for like what at least. Like a day.
They talked
It's
about
scary.
that. I don't like stuff like that.
Why?
They talk about stuff like, I mean, did they ever do it where like if you hop worlds it carries through? Like I just would rather they
Your
keep
pen.
it simple. Yeah.
Your pin, if you talk to a bank.
That's good though, because if you open another client and try to log into that, your pin doesn't carry over. It's like specific to the client.
It's one of the best
Yeah,
quality
fine
of life updates I've ever seen.
I have been meaning to turn that on for like 8 months, and I just always forget.
Do it right now.
I mean, imagine if
you
every
can't
time you
talk
logged
to the
in,
Castle Wars bank chest to
every
Oh.
time you
change
logged in,
it,
you had
so-
to enter your authenticator. Like, come on, mate. It shouldn't really be like that with the bank.
Oh, did you guys see like 2 months ago? There was this thing. There was that thing where like it flagged you to put your authenticator, then you just pressed cancel and logged in again. And it went through.
I
Jesus
saw that.
Christ!
Nah,
That
that's
was-
been it. That's been around.
That's
for
been a thing for a while.
How
Yeah.
is it? I only saw it.
That's just a bug where it wants you to re-enter it despite you already having have entered it before.
Oh, okay then. Okay.
When I first started my RS3 account, it asked me my authenticator every time I logged into it, and it just cancel it and then log in again without it.
I suppose they updated account security with a hide username button. That's pretty nice.
That is
Like
good.
streamers don't have to switch to their AFK screen or whatever whenever they're.
Yeah, that was a good
They
one.
need to put in like IP last logged in from. Like there
That
needs to be
yes, we need that
like,
shit
yes.
back.
seriously.
So when
They
I get
put-
hacked, the pet
They
boys
put
can
the
lock 'em
account
up.
security of like 80,000 subscribers in jeopardy because like 3 people couldn't put up an AFK screen when they hot worlds. Like, I have been angry about that for fucking 5
Wait, you
years
want
nearly.
IP to be visible when
Yes.
you log in?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because someone could just someone could log into your account, try like 5 pins or something, and then log out.
Yeah,
and you'd
even if
never
it's
know.
like, would you want it to be like click to reveal, or do you really just want it always there?
Just toggle like show IP, hide IP, and if it shows IP, like if it's not your IP, you're like, oh shit, maybe I should change all my stuff. But now it just says like, oh, you logged in earlier today. Like,
Does
yeah, I did,
anyone
but I don't know who did.
does anyone remember it was like in 2013 where you'd be able to change like on your computer you'd be able to fuck with some kind of settings to where
Yeah.
you'd be able to set it to be like your pin that it would show upon login. You could essentially customize that. So that shit was cool. I liked that. I'd have I know that I had my shit set like home.
So it said like last logged in from home.
Yeah,
okay.
it'd say home, school, work, whatever. And you'd have to fuck around with some settings, and I don't even recall what it is, but you were able to edit what it appeared as.
Like that needs to come back.
Yeah,
I have no clue what you're talking about, but yeah, I agree.
it's for the old timers.
Yeah, I'm not much of an old timer, am I?
All right.
Old men.
I think we kind of talked about a question like that a bit back. All right, so let's talk about the death mechanics. Do you think that the current death mechanics need to be changed back to how it was in 2013 or 2014? If you think that there's another suggestion for how you think that it should be, what do you think that is? Just explain your opinion overall.
I think if they really just reverted it, that your shit dropped to the ground and was visible to other people, DDoSing worlds would come back immediately. Like they have not
Yes.
solved that problem.
Yes.
People have just stopped DDoSing worlds. So it can't completely revert. The alternative is something with gravestones. I didn't play much RS3, so I don't really know how those work, but it's pretty much just like a one-time payment or whatever. I don't know. I'm fine with how they are now personally, but I understand that this is a fight that other people want to fight.
There is no way in hell they would ever revert them. But what RS3 has is instead of when you die, you don't go to your respawn point, you go to death, and you can talk to him, and you can either buy your stuff back off him, or you can go to your respawn point and run back to get the shit from your gravestone. But like, if you get your shit from your gravestone, everything's gonna have degraded, because all armor and gear degrades on that game. So like half the time you're just better off paying like the 200, 300k to get it off death, which like that would be good.
I kind of like that. It doesn't really seem too artificial either.
Like half the time when I died on that game, like I know I can make my way back to my stuff, but like I don't want to. I'll just buy it back. It's easier.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that. I think that there should be some kind of punishment for death. Obviously, the DDoSing is a problem that a lot of people have. and it is very understandable reason to be against any kind of changes in that way to where it's visible to everyone. But I like the direction that they've moved in, like with the new boss, where you have to pay to get your items back. So yeah, Trickle's suggestion, that'd be some good shit. I'd like to see that.
I think that when you die, you should not lose your stuff, but like you have to pay to get it back, and it scales depending on how much you lose. And it's also like it won't be restricted to just tradable items. It'll also count for like untradables. Because I think just dying and then like, oh, I died at DKs. Well, the trip back takes 5 minutes. But I'm just going to go back there and pick up my stuff. I don't think that should be a thing. Like, I remember back in the day when you died, it's like, oh shit, I need to get back there fast or my stuff is gone. Or with gravestones, you like have to pay. So I think not only restoring some of the nostalgia, but also losing a little bit of GP from the game, I think that's pretty good.
Do you remember when Boaty was doing his unofficial Iron Man back in 2014? He'd spent like 3 days getting fucking infinity so he could go and do DKs, and he died with it. He just lost it. Like it's 3 weeks, 3 days of stuff just gone.
Oh, I thought you were talking
we got
about
the thing in the first place, right?
Boaty.
Because he died doing barrows, and that was the first time they implemented the 1 hour thing, right?
Well,
No,
yeah.
originally
they gave him items back that he died for during a DC.
Originally, it only
They gave him
happened.
bandos.
I remember getting pissed about that. Fuck Pizza Man as well.
Oh fuck!
It only happened at God Wars, and they gave everyone like, because your KC usually drains when you leave, but they made it so that it didn't.
Oh yeah.
So you could kill like 1,000 things, and like you could kill Bandos, and then like if you died, you could get back into the room without having to kill 40 things before your shit despawned.
Yeah.
And that's what they had at first. And that was the double XP weekend for PVMers, and everyone was really angry. Because everyone just had infinite God Wars KC. Because like if you did the boss and you could kill like, you only have to kill like 13 of them because you'd be killing the 3 minions at the same time. You just have infinite KC.
Why can't you divide 40 by 4?
Is it? What is it? I thought it was 50.
3 minions, right?
40.
40 getting 3 minions.
Alright. 13. 13.
10.
13.
Holy shit.
10.
That's embarrassing.
I'm here to play RuneScape, not do fucking maths. I'm a nerd.
Anyone else got anything for the death mechanics or no? Alright.
If you told the subscriber base that when the game first came out you lost all your items, dude,
they
wouldn't believe you.
Do you guys have any memorable deaths before when you did lose shit on death in old school?
Yes, I lost my. Okay, listen, right. I was having a great time. I just got my fighter torso, was killing some fire giants, doing a slayer task, and I thought I'd be like a cool dude. And I was playing World of Warcraft at the same time, doing my fishing dailies. The Mr. Pandorian boys, remember? And I forgot that I was playing RuneScape. Died at fire giants, lost everything, man. I was distraught.
What was everything at that time?
I mean, like the bank was gone, Randy. I lost my fire cape, and I remember I wanted to apply to a PVM clan, which meant I had to get it back, but I was really bad, so I was really worried about that. Lost my fighter torso. I lost my barrow's legs. It was devastating.
I was doing the slidey box puzzle on the top of White Wolf Mountain, and some merch bot had I think it was a merch bot, but he was a bot. Because if you ignore the random or you did the random wrong, it sometimes teleport you there. And I saw this guy walking back and forth, but like he'd walk back and forth and like he'd get hit by a wolf, he'd walk forward, get hit by a wolf, and he died. And he had a yellow, and it was like 600k.
When I was like,
dude, that was a lot of money.
When I was like 7, I used to alk at either Pest Control Bank or at the Castle Wars place. Yeah, alk. I didn't stutter, did I? Right, I didn't stutter. Anyway, let me get on with the story, right? I used to alk at the Castle Wars thing where you can like look outside, and at the Pest Control Bank. At the Pest Control Bank, there were like bots, and the sometimes the strange plant random would come and kill them. So you just see like this bot like stuck outside the bank or something, getting killed by a strange plant, and everyone would be spam clicking trying to get their nature runes.
Yeah, same at the Darrock Tunnel at Barrows out there.
Jesus
Good times.
Christ. You know, when you
I
brought up
wasn't
that pest
playing-
control stuff, it reminded me of back. I remember like when I was doing the Bibles, trying to get 99 in those stats. Like that was a very popular thing. Was people end up dying to bots at pest control somehow. Sorry, go ahead, Rift.
Playing old school during that period of time, but I remember, you know, like 12 years ago in the actual old school RuneScape, I lost my whole cash stack because I was a noob. I think I lost like 3p,
That was nasty, mate.
which was a lot to me back then. Like the first few weeks I started playing the game.
Since we're on the topic of deaths, when I was like 8, a bit older from last time, I had a full void, I had all the pieces, had a dark bow, I was balling. I went into the clan wars, you know, I went into the red portal, and I was doing that thing where you step outside and then step in to like troll them, and I got barraged, and I died, and I'm not sure if I went back in there, if my void would be on the floor, but either way, I lost all of it. I was on my laptop upstairs, I closed it, and I started crying because I was 8 years old.
Oh shit. I know one of my old school deaths. It was probably like May 2013. At the time, I was just trying to get a little bit of combat levels. So I was doing some Slayer, some of the 25k an hour Slayer. The old boys remember, and I was killing aberrant inspectors. And
Hey, the old boys will remember that.
yes, they will. And
I can't say I can relate, to be honest.
yeah, so pretty much like, you know, those fuckers are aggressive. So I was playing some Madden and AFKing, and then I just like forgot that I was fucking playing RuneScape and lost my fire cape, lost my fucking Zerker ring. I think like when I got on, I had like a fucking whip, a fury. Don't know what the
Fucking hell, you're rich.
don't know. Hey man,
That's extremely
whips were like 5 mil at that time. That was serious money. So I was pretty pissed off. Lost the fire cape, lost the ring. I was mad.
Has anyone got any good scamming stories?
Oh, when I was like 5. Okay, this is way ages ago.
Playing at
I
5.
was playing at 5 because my sister showed me the game in
Dude.
reception. Yeah, I was 5, and someone
UK boys will remember
in
reception.
Varrock East Bank, someone was like selling Rune Skinny for 11k, and that's really low. So
And
like,
even 5-year-old knew that offer was too damn good to miss.
and
That's
he
because
put
he
up-
got raised in London, mate. Doesn't trust anyone.
he put up a Rune Skinny at the last, like, I don't know how he did it. He changed it into an Iron Skinny, like instantly. I didn't realise, and I was so happy to get this Rune Skinny for 11k. I was spamming the accept button, yes. And after I did the trade, I was like, oh my god, I'm rich. And then I right-clicked it. Dreams crushed. Yeah, it's all over for me.
When I was like,
You're
when I
Holy
first got membership,
Dude, if I was having that many hardships at age 5,
Randy,
at
you
age
need to come to
8,
Trickool.
my ass would not keep playing the game.
Now he only trades himself.
Randy, please don't interrupt.
when I first got members, I went to Valley Bank near the wall that you climb over to get your even XP points. And some dude, he sold me a Spottier cape. I paid 30. I gave him my rune pick for it because I thought it was a fire cape.
Oh
And I was really
dear.
disappointed when I needed a hunter acquire because I didn't even know what hunter was.
Wow. That was extremely low tier.
I kind of touched on this earlier, but somebody I was friends with for over a year had quit the game, and they gave me one of their old accounts. They're playing on it a lot, and I ended up doing some raids on it, and I got a twisted bow, and back to the game, and their main was better than the account that they gave me, so I thought they would continue letting me have it. Yeah, he took it back. He took the account back from me, and about
You were
1.4 bill worth
A
of
serial
gear.
account sharer.
We'll have to figure out what to do with you when the audience is
Yeah.
present.
Account sharing is alpha.
Yeah, I don't
I-
think that's allowed in old Hexis.
Stick around after class.
I got a good
I'll stream it.
I got a good almost scam story. It was one of my first times after becoming a member, and I'm pretty much I'm out here in Camelot. I don't know. People were like, it was like a lot of people in Cami selling and buying shit. I don't know if that was like the Fletching Guild unofficially then or what, but
Yep.
so I see this guy and he's selling a wrapped Amelie for like 1 mil or 1.5 mil. And then there's a guy that's selling a whip for a wrapped Amelie.
Yes,
Oh,
those were the
that's
best
an
guys.
And I look and I have no idea what a wrapped Amelie is. So I look it up and I see like so
An
and I,
Oomli wrap.
It's an Oomli.
Oomli wrap, right?
and I see
Yeah.
and I see that like it's involved in the Legends quest, and at that time I'm thinking, all right, Legends quest is probably the like biggest, most difficult, most
Motherfucking-
important quest in the fucking game, and I may be able to swindle these motherfuckers real quick. But you know I'm a man of the people. Everybody already knows. I didn't buy this wrapped Amelie. I said, hey man,
Oomli.
I'm going to keep
Oomli
calling
wrap.
it Amelie.
Yep, you're gonna keep looking like a fuck.
That's fine.
Alk.
So
Yes.
I would I was like, hey man, hey, add this guy. He's 10 spaces away from you. Like, this would be a great deal for you, man. Go talk to this guy. He's like, oh, where? And I spent like 10 minutes trying to get these people to come together to make a trade together, but it was either the same guy or it was his friend.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Dude. No.
I don't think I may have been scammed before, but
Oh,
it was
I remember
either
people-
so traumatic that I blocked it out, or I never have.
In like 2011, do you remember that Chaos Rift thing in the Wildy?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was called. Yeah, but you could kill
Tunnels.
green dragons. Yeah, Chaos Tunnels. You could kill green dragons in there. And some random guy PM'd me like, "Oh, remember me, dude? Oh, we go way back." I was like, "Haha, yeah, I remember you." It was just some random guy. And he was like, "Oh, can you teach me how to kill green dragons, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Meet me at the green dragon place." And he's like, "No, go outside the rift, dude. Go outside the rift." I'm like, "What? Okay, fine." So I'm waiting outside the rift. It's in the Wildy. The rift's right there. So I'm like, if anyone comes, I'll just slop in. Him and his other friends. I think it's multi there. Him and his other friends roll in, barrage me, bam, bam, bam. I lose my 200k. I lost. Not a good memory, dude. I lost my full rune. Almost lost my whip. I think I didn't. But yeah, that was upsetting.
What question have we been talking about for the past 20 minutes?
Made up our own one.
Yeah, we made up
That's
our
right.
own.
Can we get back to the format?
Hey man, sometimes some
we're having a
unscripted
good
stuff.
time.
Yeah, this is some good discussion. Fuck off.
Before the podcast, Ricky, you were like, if this lasts more than an hour.
Who?
Trickool,
I
man. He was
didn't
saying he
Oh.
didn't want to be here.
I don't want to even be on here for 3 minutes, he said.
That's what he said, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're talking about death mechanics.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Okay.
I mean, we're still related to death. Here,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're on topic.
it all comes full circle, baby.
Yeah, it does. Fuck off, Zoid.
No.
All right,
I just
so
think we should stick to the format. I'm being a square.
if you put the format together, you can guide the direction.
Where did that come from?
All right, so the first
It's very
4
passive
years,
aggressive.
the first 4 years of old school only saw like 800 people max. However, last year alone, 1,700 people, twice as many people maxed last year as the previous 4 years combined. Is that concerning? And how many people do you think will be maxed at the end of 2018?
Who's first?
You are.
I think the number one next to your name.
Okay. Yeah. I think it is concerning because it shows that there's so many AFK methods for skilling now that even coffee milks can max. Pretty stupid.
Call people out on the Hexis podcast. We ain't about burning bridges.
Yeah, man, this is.
I mean,
friendly
if people
place.
want to be
Not nice to call people out.
AFK the whole game, then they shouldn't be able to max. I mean, or it should take them so long that it wouldn't be worth it. And maybe the people that maxed last year are just people that AFK'd all their skills and took forever to do it.
Dude, I maxed last year.
Leaves a lot of question as to whether to add a new skill or not soon.
I think 6,000 people will be maxed by the end of this year.
Whoa,
Holy.
that's a bit debatable.
It's quite a few people.
I mean, like, by the end of this year, I think it will just over double. So
We'll see
3,500
that.
increase.
I'll remember that number. Sorry.
Okay.
Tweeted someone tweeted out on the Hexis Twitter our predictions. Trickle, you're up. What do you think?
About the tweet?
The fucking question.
Yeah. I mean, it's the nature of the game. A lot of people gonna max, you know? Just how it is. It's how it goes.
And how many people do you think will be maxed at the end of the year?
More than what we currently have.
Damn.
Safe.
Try disprove me.
This ain't something The Price is Right where if you go
I'd
over
like 6,001.
How many are max now?
25
3K?
about 2,500.
Oh shit. Yeah, 5 or 6 seems about right. Depends how many people like. They'll think, "Hey, cool, RuneScape's out on a mobile. I'm gonna play it on my phone. Never mind, this game's fun as fuck. I'm gonna play it on my computer now." You could max in a year if you like the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I maxed in like 6 or 7 months. It's really easy.
Paizuri, can you please stick to the format? That question is not on there.
Paizuri.
Oh, I'm just slotting.
Stop trying to show off every opportunity you
You're
get
just
me.
showing off.
Where
Yeah,
does it say on the format how long
You're
did you
playing
max
in
it?
between
I
social
was
studies and geography.
about to make a point, dude. I was about to make a point referring to Trickool, and you've just all ruined
Right,
it.
you got one opportunity then. Go on. What's your point?
Well, now I'm on the spot. You're pressurizing me.
Oh, look, you can't handle the pressure.
You're bullying me because I'm not as old as you guys. I mean, what's going on here?
Listen, you wanted to show off. Here's your chance. Go on.
No, I wanted to say that people can, if they put their mind to it, they can max really fast. So yeah, it could possibly be 6,000 people. If 6,000 people really wanted to do it, they've got 11 months. That's a really long time. So
Well,
yeah.
And maxing in current year doesn't mean that you did all lazy methods from the start of the game. It could just mean you started later and have done things pretty typically.
Or you could have been playing like
I'm
30
go.
minutes a day for the past 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, but I think more likely than that is they've been playing somewhat consistently. They just started later. I don't know.
I'm going with 5,500 people maxed by the end of the year.
Why?
I feel like that's a pretty good number. You saw 1,700 max last year, and I figure with the amount of people that are going to be playing on their phones more often than what they did before, it'll open up to where I think 3,000 people max this year, almost twice as many as what maxed last year.
Not to mention Zaya rune crafting and mining caught
I think that's an extremely high number, but
some.
time will tell.
You could just AFK it.
That's what a lot of people been doing. All right, so let's look at some things that they made like some kind of like what's coming up post or some shit. So they announced that there won't be a 5-year cape. So is what it is. We're coming up here. All right, so 5 years ago, Old School wasn't out yet. Almost, but it just wasn't. Tell us, like what were you doing 5 years ago before Old School RuneScape was added?
So I think some of my first mates had learned to drive, so we were all pretty excited. Driving to the next park over, try and establish some dominance over there instead.
What?
Well, we were 17. Just seeing what's out in the world. We finally got some freedom.
Wait, so we're talking about like 2012.
2013.
2013 February.
January, February 2013.
I think some of my earliest mates should have just learned to drive then, yeah. So I wasn't playing any of the games, I was just dicking about outside.
I was probably playing League of Legends at the time. I don't know.
Damn,
Yeah.
League's that old?
Yeah, League's been around for a while. I played pretty early, but yeah. But I don't know. Other than that, probably not too much. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I've kind of got like a good timeline in my head of like my gaming history of what I played when I played. Like 5 years ago, I was playing Madden and 2K on Xbox, and a little bit of Call of Duty here and there. Some good days.
Years ago, high school. I was about to graduate high school. And I was doing that, debating on whether to go to college or not, and ultimately decided not to. And then after high school, started my own taxi business and did that for like a year or so. So yeah, that's what I was doing.
I was just about to start my GCSEs, which are like just like graduating from high school, I guess. So I was AFKing Rocktails on RS3.
I think back then I was playing a lot of private servers. I think I was playing a lot of Call of Duty and a lot of Garry's Mod.
All right. So we hit like 82K plus people, like a week ago or so. Which was the most we ever had. How long do you think it's gonna be before we hit 100K? And we do need more worlds. How many worlds do you think we need? How many more worlds do you think we need?
You've very much changed the question to something it wasn't. The question was, do we need more worlds?
What do you think about that question, Zoid?
Yeah, I'll answer my own questions from now on. Thank you very much. So until about 2 weeks ago, I was doing Blastmine, and I would regularly have to hop through all of the UK and European worlds, and then do it again. I'm not playing on the American worlds. Yeah, I mean, I've been advocating for a couple of years that there are too many people playing the game for the amount of worlds we have sometimes.
Just left out there are too many people playing the game.
Too many people playing the game. I mean, I know people always say like, "Oh, I want the game to do better." I don't really care if the game does better. Depends what you define as better. So, yeah, there's too many people online. Everyone log out.
Um, definitely does need to be more worlds, and I think we'll hit 100k players on the first day that live on like the App Store. Then I think we'll hit 100k players on that same day.
I don't think we'll hit 100k on the same on the day that it comes out, but I do think we definitely will within like 2 weeks of release. I think word of mouth needs to have a little bit of time to get around, and I'm gonna say the Sunday, 2 Sundays after mobile release, we hit 100k. I hope that when mobile comes out, they put in about 20 free to play worlds and like 10 more
You
member
serious
worlds.
think mobile's only going to bring like that
20k.
many more people on?
Concurrent players for
Mobile
like
gaming is it the biggest gaming market?
it's
Yeah.
the
Next,
largest
Mainly because of
expanding.
China, but
oh, they can't fucking play though, can they?
no.
I'm saying like there will be a lot of new players that start playing, but I don't think there's going to be a drastic increase in concurrent players at
the question
any
isn't
given
about
time.
concurrent. Randy,
Uh,
stick to the question.
it
Second
says
time you've been asked.
it says 82k people online at a point. How soon before
Yeah,
100?
at a point implies that it wasn't concurrent.
We're about to hit it 2 weeks after mobile.
Nah, we're getting up to fucking 200k with mobile, I bet.
200k, I spit.
If we get
200k.
if we get up to 200k, I will let you host
I
3
don't want to
podcasts.
host. I do not want to host.
I will let you pick. I will let you pick any 3 people to host a podcast.
Ooh.
I think Trickool would be more like you don't have to be on the next 3, is what it sounds like.
Oh, I remember that. Trickool was so excited when I think he got banned from the podcast. It was the best 2 months of his life.
I was in the middle of giving introductions, and he just fucking interrupted me, rude as a bitch. That was a couple years
I was
back, I
watching
recall.
them. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Who remembers
Christ.
what I said?
Oh god. I think you screamed that you needed to go for a piss, be right back or something.
No, I need to go see my mum because I haven't seen her in 3 days.
Good times.
I just feel like at one point, like at the game's peak, all worlds, or there were a lot of worlds that were very close to full, and somehow we still managed to play the game. I think that scarcity like does have a place in the game. Maybe we're reaching the point where that needs to be looked at again, but I don't know.
Maybe it's because the player base is more mature on average. Like there's less people doing stupid crap. You know what I mean? More people
Yeah.
doing like things that we would be doing. So it feels
Yeah.
like the things we're doing have more people in them.
Yeah,
I think-
and I'm not the best. I don't think I do anything in the game right now that is affected by like only 1 per world or whatever. I just do
Yeah.
Zora and skilling that doesn't really require that. So
I mean, I don't care about like competing for resources. I think that's a part of the game. But what I'm worried is that there will be too many people on every world, and then it'll be laggy. And I really dislike when, even if I get like 10 more ping, I can feel it. It's just really annoying. So I hope they have like enough worlds to at least put around 400 people in each world. I think that's a fair number.
Yeah. All right,
2013, 400 people. That was a high spawn world.
it was. Ugh.
World 1, World 2, World 330. And then that was it.
All right,
Next
so
best.
the game integrity post was 2 months ago, over 2 months ago now. We still haven't been given an update. I know that by update I mean like an actual fucking full-fledged, but like Sween said something about like next week we should be getting an update with it, with some things being added onto it. So what things do you think they are going to add on or change from the original post from 2 months ago, and what are some things on there that you definitely want to see on there as well?
Oh,
Zoid?
Zoid, it's
Oh.
your turn, dude.
Let
It looks
left.
like he's muted.
I'm here.
Uh,
What do you want?
Oh,
I want you to answer the
what game
question.
integrity things do you want?
What game integrity things I want? I don't play now. Skip me. Sorry.
I'll say knights need to go. Pretty poor content. Other than that, the other game integrity stuff that they've talked about, mainly adding artificial requirements onto things like killing green dragons and maybe red chins. So that'd be interesting if they were to do that.
Let's see. You guys rearranged the order around quite a bit to push me up to the top here. I'm trying to find the tweet that I put out like yesterday or the day before where I was talking about some things that I'd like to see addressed. So give me a couple seconds here to keep rambling while I quickly scroll through and find it. Here it is. Nightmare Zone as a whole needs to be changed. It shouldn't be the most AFK. It shouldn't be the most XP per hour. And it shouldn't, on top of all that, then be profitable. That's just a problem. I think some things that could be done to change that is just make combat work. I don't know if lowering the XP per hour is necessarily the best way to go, but one thing that they definitely need to do is if you're still attacking something after 5 minutes without interacting with it, you should be logged out, much in the same way as if you're not interacting with the game, doing any other activity, you get logged out. They need to especially attack that before mobile becomes released to the full public because it's going to be you're going to be able to play it while it's sitting in the background. So you're really like there's never at any point going to be an excuse to not be phone zoning. On top of that, Artie Knights, they need to go. They really do. Don't care how you do it. Change them. They need to hide the voting in polls until the poll is closed. It is an integrity issue. It should be changed. Like at the very least, I shouldn't see the poll results before I even have a chance to vote. Like when you open up the fucking poll thing, that is the default thing that you see is the results.
Can you change your votes on polls?
Don't think so.
No.
They talked about it, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Right, vote on polls, that's XP waste.
And then I'm okay with pretty much everything else that they have on the integrity post. I wasn't sold on them all before, but I'm kind of okay with them now.
I think that they're probably not doing enough to combat bots. I mean, I've seen a bot with more Hunter XP than me. I've got 60 million. He had like more than 60 million Hunter XP just from Black Chins. So I think he can be bothered to, go and complete Eagle's Peak for 500 mil profit. I think that's fair to assume that he can do the Eagle's Peak quest. So I think that more needs to be done to stop bots. Same thing with RD Knights. The main problem is that people are auto-clicking them. Who's that man that got a 500 EHP month? Just
Aruna.
That man got he got the month hunter record, and then one person tweeted at Weave and he was banned. What? So yeah, something needs to be done about bot detection. I think they just need to hire more people. I've heard the bot detection in RS3 is really good.
Zoid?
Hello. Yeah, I would like to see Knights deleted too, and I hate when people just reiterate the same thing, but I think this is something that's a pet peeve of everybody. I like the buttons idea that you stole about 3 podcasts ago. I would like to see Knights drop buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right. Something else that came up. I think it was on a Q&A. Yeah, it was on a Q&A. Was A suggestion to sacrifice a cut dragonstone into the wilderness volcano for a chance at getting an eternal ring of wealth. What do you think about this idea? And to be noted, it did get 89% people saying yes on a straw poll during the Q&A.
I think that you just skip me. 1 sec.
This podcast has been going on too long, man. We're dropping off.
Like, you can see the questions ahead of time.
Whose dog is that?
What kind of dog is
Oh,
it?
that's Paizuri's laugh.
What?
No.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It is.
Anyways.
All right, so it's not a terrible suggestion, but it's not the eternal jewelry I want to see. But I like that they're still exploring going down that area.
I don't know. That it seems like they're making everything eternal. I think they said that was a concern, that they're making everything eternal. That's a bit dodgy. I think it's. I mean, I don't mind. Like, it won't really make any big difference. I guess I can slap it on my gargoyle if it's cheap. But I mean, apart from that, I don't know. I don't really.
Can we stop a sec? Because I'm losing my
care.
mind. Is that really your laugh?
Yes.
I can't handle this. I'm going to bear back a sec. I need to get the blood flowing. This is too long.
Big need the coffee.
All right, Zoid, you still
This
here
is
or
nothing.
no?
Where were you when we had that fucking 4-hour podcast?
Oh yeah, that was.
What's the question?
All right, so the question is, what are your goals in
4 hours
2018?
makes you cool.
I made a video on it. You should watch that instead. Bear back.
No.
Doesn't even link it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Don't watch the video, and if you do watch it, remember to dislike it.
Can someone find it so we can all mass dislike it?
Oi.
Oh wait. Trickool.
Just keep playing RuneScape, my dude.
Yeah, I don't have any concrete plans. Like at the beginning of the year, I said probably 200 mil hunt and then spam out some viables, so like crafting and hunter. But my plans change a few times a week, so I'll just try to gain some EHP, I guess.
I can tell what I'm doing
It's
really.
me.
Like,
Yeah, my goals for 2018. Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I think I will be getting 200 mil hunter at least. Probably 200 mil cooking and fire making. Actually, probably not cooking. I'll probably save that for fishing. But I'll get the majority of cooking done after I fire one for a bit. I haven't really planned anything out, but short-term goals are getting a twisted bow. Pretty close. Want to slap that on the Zora ult. Want to make a Rune Dragon ult as well. That'll take some time. So I haven't really thought about the future. I need to do more math, but I can't be bothered.
See,
Math?
I have some actual goals because mine changed.
Okay.
If you haven't heard by now,
Yeah,
the
can
only
I go
relevant,
again as well, actually?
the only relevant metric now is rank sum. I just passed Randy yesterday, feeling pretty good.
Disagree.
Currently going for Hello Jason's rank. Things are going good.
Rank some. I think if I spent 2 minutes fishing and
Yep. Are you going
ranging,
to,
I'd pass you up.
Are you going to, Randy? No one likes a sore loser.
I'll get around to it. You know what? You want to make a bet with me on who has a better rank sum by the end of the year?
Nope.
That's what I thought, bitch.
I'm just taking the win while I've got it, Randy. You do
Yeah.
the same.
200 mil Slayer combats, and then maybe like 150 mil agility. And maybe shit. Trying to estimate like how much woodcutting I think I might be able to get. I don't know, maybe like 75 mil woodcutting or something. I don't know, something like that. All right, so if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I've been having some very bad computer experiences over the last few weeks. to kind of explain what the fuck happened as well as I can with the limited knowledge that I have. In the middle of regular use, my operating system uninstalled itself and corrupted my backup of my computer. All at the same time.
Is that the torrented version of Windows 7 you had?
No. No, it's
Was
not.
it like Windows? Like actual
It was
money?
Actual.
it was actual Windows.
Oh shit.
And you know, like I hadn't downloaded anything or made any changes to any settings or anything or any kind of changes that to any. I think I had upgraded to Windows 10 like 2-3 months prior. Problem like that. How the fuck? Like, dude, I don't know. Lost all my, pretty much lost all my passwords. Lost all my fucking, like obviously all the shit on my computer and shit. Lost the backup, obviously. So took me like a week and a half to be able to recover my RuneScape email. And by RuneScape email, like I have my actual ones for my account secured. You know, that those are the ones that I guess I went over the top to make sure I had them in like other locations. But like I fucking, it has been over 3 weeks and I have not been able to access my personal email. And I have a lot of important shit that I'm sure I've received within the last fucking few weeks. So that is highly fucking concerning. Motherfucker, I've been denied 3 or 4 times trying to recover my account, and I have answered 6 security, like pretty much forms of security, pretty much like the code to my phone, the code to my backup phone, my phone number, the date, you know, like month and year of creation, most recent password, which was the most recent password before the one that it currently is right now, and getting a code from an email that I have had linked to that personal email before as well. It's like they've declined me. I honestly think that my fucking email is gone. And it is devastating.
Rest in peace. Oh, where's Trick?
Yeah, Trickool, what's going on with you?
What are we on now?
The same
Your
question we
computer
were on.
experience.
My computer is pretty good.
But what's your worst experience?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I got a virus from downloading Minecraft mods like years ago, which was pretty bad. Said that I had to pay the police a certain amount of money.
Police.
Oh, like ransomware.
Yeah.
Yeah, ransomware. Yeah.
Like, and then one of my mum's friends said that they could fix it, but they just fucking like reset everything, and I lost all my Minecraft skins.
Aren't they stored on like this? Don't you upload the Minecraft skins?
I don't fucking know. I've not played the game.
I'm pretty sure you set them on the website.
I've not played the game since
Oh,
like
Zoid,
2000.
Minecraft connoisseur. Questioning
man.
your story here.
I fucking love placing blocks, my guys.
Hang on.
What?
What did you say?
I said I
Placing
like placing
blocks?
blocks, my guys. What do you think I said?
I thought you said a rude word.
I wouldn't do that.
Placing what?
This is the Hexis
I'll have to rewatch
podcast.
this actually, because I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Well, I didn't do anything.
I heard blocks, but I was thinking of Tetris when he said that, not Minecraft.
Oh hell yeah! You want to play some Tetris again tonight?
Yes.
Heck yeah!
Alright,
So,
my worst
let's wrap it up,
computer
guys.
experience.
Tetris
Wait,
fucking sucks.
no. My worst
Paizuri.
computer experience is my computer always crashes, like all the time, and it's really annoying. And then sometimes I turn it on and it's like, I'm not turning on, and it beeps at me, and it's very annoying. And I have to keep turning it on and off again, like 50 times until it works. And it works, and I'm like, yes. I load up OSU and it just crashes again. Like, what's going on? It's such a bad computer. It costs like £2,000. It's terrible.
What the fuck?
It is
It's a
my
heavy
dad bought
computer.
it.
I haven't really had a laptop yet, and like, I'm pretty sure I went through about 11 charges with that fucking thing, because they'd always get frayed. Like the wires would get fucking frayed. That was a
Wow.
bad experience. You have to keep going in the shop and say, "Hey, I broke my wire again. Can you give me a new one?"
My
Say,
computer.
yeah, but it's going to take a week. It's like, okay, how the fuck do I charge my laptop for a week? You
My
don't.
computer cost £2,400 because my dad couldn't trust anyone. He didn't want to build it or anything.
Seems like you
So
trusted
he
the
bought an
wrong
Alienware.
motherfucker.
Yeah, Alienware, dude. It's so bad. Do not buy an Alienware
That's like
computer.
the only time people ever get them is from Facebook giveaways. I can't believe you bought.
What do you
My
mean?
dad bought one.
They have the
I
highest
was
amount of sick LEDs per pre-built.
I was like 12, so. But guys, don't buy Alienware.
I wish my parents would
It
spend that
sucks.
much money on me.
Yeah.
My parents are rich.
My parents wouldn't even buy me orange juice when they go to the shops.
Yeah. Do you know how bad it is? Like, you're on your way home, ask you to get some McDonald's, and they say, "Oh, we got food at home."
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, we've got bread in the cupboards.
They're just trying to look out for you, Randy, so you don't eat crap.
You know, it that does kind of catch on because I woke up last night at like 11 p.m. And didn't eat before I left to go to work, and fucking I'm on my way home. I'm thinking, man, like, damn, I really want like some Taco Bell. Taco Bell breakfast, by the way, only place out there still with the dollar menu on their menu, but was
Are we
really
sponsored by them?
Yeah, sponsored
Yes.
by Taco Bell.
no, but we really do need somebody
Hey, Taco Bell, you
to.
watching?
You watching?
We should
Reach
start
out to
selling
us.
ads on here again. But
Did anyone
He were being again, yeah.
I decided that you know, I don't want to spend $5, $4, however much I'd fucking spend. So when I get home, I'm just make some oatmeal and scrambled eggs, and that's what I did. So it does add up. You know, your mom tells you that 100 fucking times, then you start to believe it yourself. But
This has been the most off-topic podcast ever.
no, I think that some of the earlier ones definitely could give it a run for its money.
It has also been the only podcast I've been on, so maybe there's a parallel there.
One
Why don't
is
you try
not
and
a
make it about you,
pattern.
Paizuri?
One is not a pattern.
Come on, it was a joke.
All right,
What
well,
did y'all
it was
do
a joke,
during the
Randy.
podcast?
been doing some good Slayer. Was getting 74k an hour.
So close.
74
Might as well just say it at that point.
70
Slowing down a bit there, Randy.
74.4. Well, I've been running roofs for the last like 2 minutes, so you know, maybe it was like 75. I don't know. Yeah, just Slayer, now roofs.
I've been free tick fishing. Apparently people can hear it. So yeah, have some clicking ASMR.
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything really. Why are people all saying it? Because I have like the most scuffed setup. Like I have 2 headsets.
You
'Cause I
can't
snapped
stop
one.
slamming them, yeah.
You know, I dyed the black chins, and you know, next day I needed a new headset. So yeah, I snapped one.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. That's how we're ending the podcast. God bless everybody. We'll see you with the next podcast. Gonna be coming out. Don't know. Follow us on Twitter at Hexis. See ya.
Bye.